look like adult.
I feel like a child.
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest. I feel like a child. I feel, yeah.
Like it just...
It's,
The hair is like killing me. Like, geez, what is this?
I know.
You always had everything like so tidy.
I know. I'm having a quarter life crisis. I think that's where...
You're not even to a quarter. No, that doesn't... Well, actually, what's the male life expectancy?
We're... With COVID? I mean, what are we talking? Do you want to do... We can do headphones? We can do no headphones. What do you feel like?
Do I hear myself if the headphones are on?
Yes. You can put it on and just see how you feel.
Oh,
we
God.
We definitely don't have to do headphones.
I'm terrified.
Oh my God.
Terrifying moment.
Can you hear that?
I can.
It's your call.
I don't know.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I don't want to hear myself.
Okay, we don't have to do headphones.
It's so weird. That makes it's extra odd.
It pulls you. I like it because it kind of pulls you in a little bit more. I feel like.
You're definitely doing a podcast.
Yeah,
that does not help.
It's just you and me. That's what it feels like.
We're doing a podcast right here.
Yeah.
Versus...
You're only going to hear me and you. You're not going to hear anything else happening. Minus that guy talking. And them.
Yeah. Okay. just go have for a drink. Okay.
But what's going on? How's life? How's COVID times?
Ooh. Well, I work medical field like always, so...
I did not know that. What are you doing?
Oh shit! I haven't. God.
It's been years. I know.
I gotta assess that.
You can cuss. Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Yeah,
that's good. Okay, I don't know. Censorship, man.
There's
PC culture, 100%.
Not on this. Oh shit! Not here. This is a safe space. You can say whatever you want. It's gonna be fine.
This will be posted places later.
Yeah, people are gonna hear this. If you don't think about it, it's a little bit better. If you just pretend like, this is just a one and done. Nobody's gonna ever hear this.
Oh God, that's such like heavy lies, man. That's a whole other discussion, though.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it all. We got plenty of booze and we got plenty of time.
That's dangerous.
So medical field.
Medical field, yeah, absolutely. God, you moved like eons ago. So I think I was working at Metro. I was working at a phone store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dipped out of there like after like a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got out.
So I was out. I started working at a mental health facility up here.
Simple Variance?
No, it was Crestwood. I worked at Crestwood for a while. It was pretty good. Worked for like a few years there, but didn't have like a solid schedule. Like I wanted my schedule to be changed, and then like they hired other people and they gave them like the solid schedule.
Oh, that kind of screwed you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude. Oh. I was like, I need my sleep, man. I was dead. I was like dying.
Were you working the night shift?
At that point, I did PM shifts to AMs.
Okay.
So it's like a 7.5-hour turnaround. But the person who would come to relieve me, like knock shifts, that I was going to say hi to again, like a few hours later, they never showed up on time. And actually, they weren't even relieving me. They were relieving the recovery coaches because I was a service coordinator. It's like a case manager type thing. This is all the information I didn't want to give you. God, dude,
why? What?
No,
it's like first 5 minutes.
You can't give anybody like it's just, oh God.
Why? Talk to me. What's going on?
Oh, PC culture, man. Everything.
It's annoying, right?
It's terrifying. It is genuinely terrifying. Someone could pull up a message that you sent like 10 years ago and get you fired today.
It's crazy to think about
full level, like
where we were. I mean, even back when we were in high school.
It was
to where we are now.
Different.
Yeah.
And like again, like everything that was socially acceptable is not socially acceptable. And it's like things are like lesser and it's and then like they're
Do you remember Slap Ass Friday? Not condoning this. Let me put that out there.
Oh, okay.
But that was
a disclaimer.
But that was a thing.
That was absolutely a thing.
Like they would shut down the whole school if that happened right now.
Well, they attempted to. I think back then they put up posters and things. They got in trouble. It took so long though.
What?
It did not go well.
What a wild time.
That was like middle school.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Yeah. That's probably why we have PC culture this bad now. Is because shit
internet,
was a little.
dude.
Yeah, that too. That definitely plays into it.
Like everything is accessible. Your entire life, like the second they started doing shit like MySpace and like Facebook, it was over. They're like,
Does that worry you? Where you kind of work in like a professional-ish field? I mean, a medical field. it's not really ish. It's more professional.
Every job, technically, you are a professional in some sense.
True.
You represent your company.
True. Whoa, very political answer. Way to sell it.
Well, at a different job that I had after that, I was a department head. And there's the reminder of you represent your company.
They were on it.
Yeah, not really.
Oh.
But yes and no. Yeah. It depends.
If it came up, then there would be repercussions.
If it was like a negative, like if anything happened that was like negatively could affect, then it's like, dude, guys.
Sorry, we gotta cut you loose.
I don't know if they ever cut anybody loose. And it was like a discussion, like, hey, reminder, because there was, I think some people went out and drank and said where they worked, and someone threw up or something, and it was like
But see, that's just like what I feel like what you do in your off time shouldn't affect your work time. Yeah.
But the problem is it does. What you do in your free time now comes back to your work. I remember 2015, like it was 2016. I don't know.
Sometime in the past.
Phone store job.
Metro. Is it still Metro? Okay.
Yeah, it's still Metro. Well, yeah, they're an authorized dealer, but yes, still basically Metro PCS. I remember my manager pulling up, or someone's had someone's resume and everything. They're looking, and they pull out their phone and they pull up their Facebook and they look this person up, and their shit wasn't on private. And they looked up, like, this is so much more common than it should be. People literally went and they would look up their social media to see if it was public and to see, like, okay, what do they do in their free time? What kind of person? Are they going to call out all the time? Are they going to...
Like potential employees.
Yeah, it's like a potential employee. This person put in a resume, did the stuff, and they're going to go, And I know there was at least one person who didn't get an interview.
Because of that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what was on their thing. I think they might have had, like, a bong or something. Like, weed was not legal in California also at that time. But I think they might have, like, a bong or something. I don't know. It was, like, something that looked like party-esque.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's their personal shit. I'm, like, I've known people who, like, they would go have a night, like a full-on night, but then they would come be the best employee the next morning, and it was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's your business. If you have a headache, but you're performing that well, I don't care.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's not really my issue. Like, I don't know. But no, I mean, it's a thing now. Just like for the potential negatives, it's crazy. I don't know. It's terrifying.
It's scary because it doesn't give you the potential to grow as a person.
No, because again, things that you said or happened 10 years ago, it's all there.
Yeah.
There's like a trail. I low-key want to delete everything, but like it already exists. So it's like I can't, like it's already there. Like what do I do? Like I can't take it back. Right? Like that's the scary thing. It's like it's all there forever. There's some cringy stuff, man. Like,
do you think about this a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. And I ask people, and a lot of people that I've talked to, you're actually the first person I've asked, and they're like, yeah, it kind of does freak me out. Everyone else is like, no, not really. And I'm like, what? Well, not even a little bit?
You're going to talk to somebody that like maybe you don't like talk to this person all the time, right? Like you're like somebody you're just meeting, and the amount that you have to just be like gauging the entire time, like what level of like PC are you?
Right. Are you a Trump supporter? Or where can we? Do you believe that COVID's real? What are we talking about? I don't even
care. Like half of those things. Like what level? Like what can I say right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like what level? Where are we?
Because you don't know who's going to get offended by what.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Like I have met people who are like super liberal, but they're like, I don't give a shit about fuck. Like I don't care. Whatever. It's all good. And then the other side of it are like, they're super Republican, etc. And they're also, I don't give a shit about fuck. And they're just like just sitting there like it's totally chill. But it depends, and it's terrifying. And you're like, what joke is?
That's the problem. You can't even joke about anything.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna say something dumb. Just welcome to my life on the podcast. That's basically me every time I bring somebody on. I'm like, how long before I say something dumb?
You do this to yourself.
I know.
Granted, I said yes, so that's also my fault. Like, I could have said no, but I was like, this will be entertaining.
It's gonna be too much fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Once the shots start going, then we're gonna see how it goes.
Barely even. Like we're like right here.
Okay.
I shoved that burger into my face. It took them. It took so long for that burger to be done, man. It took like 30 minutes to get a burger. Like that usually takes like 10, maybe 15. I ate that in like 6 minutes max.
Damn.
Max.
I want to try that. I've driven by it a few times and I've never gone there.
Do it.
I would, of course, get the fish tacos because it's a fish truck.
Yeah,
but
no, the fish tacos. Is it coconut fish tacos or something? Are like super popular.
Okay.
People love them.
Okay.
Yeah, like my current job, they do like Saturday clinics, and they're really cool because like you can go get food,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's order for like a Saturday clinic, we're ordering from there. Everyone besides like myself was just fucking the coconut fish tacos. It was all everybody. They're
And
like,
you
it's
went for the
so good. I'm
burger.
like, oh wow, that sounds great. I want a burger.
Oh man. So
Well, it sounds
you're not
awesome.
working at the mental health place anymore.
No. That was like 3 years of my life.
Okay.
Solid time.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah, it's.
I feel like it'd be
mental health is a huge topic.
Yeah.
That's a huge topic,
Yeah.
but I can definitely go into it.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna stop you.
Okay. Mental health. Everyone needs to actually be aware of their mental health and like their mental state and all of it. They do. They really do. It's so swept under the rug. It has led to shit that, I've seen there where it's just, we're just going to bury this, and then some shit happens. People really have to take care of their mental health. The mental health funding is slowly getting better. It's shit. But it is getting better. Humboldt County especially is doing better. They've even like made moves to like, of course, I even have like the officers get trained like with something like that crisis communication and everything, and actually work with mental health, which is huge because majority of the people half the time, you'll see people if you're working in mental health, half of them it's well, not half, but depending on where you live and where it's at, you can see a lot that are just drug abuse. And that's like their main issue. There's another chunk where drug abuse is what they're doing to cope, and that's their self-medicating. And there's so much like, it's like a whole section with its little mini sections. There's drug abuse right there. Boom. Whatever mini thing it is underneath it. A lot of times there's some trauma. There's something there. You don't just go, I'm going to go shoot fucking heroin for shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
No one just starts there. But there's like nothing. Like there's so little like actual help to get people to that spot, and there's so much stigma. Like there was counselors and stuff at school that they were there. Remember? Like,
at our school?
Yeah, there was counselors. We had them available. You could even I knew a couple people who ditched class and like would just go chat with the counselor because they didn't want to go to class because they didn't do their homework.
So shout out to the counselors.
They have it like not like often, but it's totally
wow. I feel like that's something we would have done.
I did it once.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah, it was me.
Okay.
It was one time.
You're the secret person.
Yeah, it was. I did that one time.
Why do you? But it's the funding's getting better.
It is getting better. There is more effort being put into it, especially in Humboldt County. Like, there's more going there. It's still really hard, and it's still hard, of course, when like the places that it's hard to even fix like the rules and everything that are going on in one of those facilities if you can't keep people.
Mm-hmm.
If if the setup is shitty enough to where your high turnover rate with staff, it's constant, like every 6 months max, you're gonna have new people coming in. If you're in a place like that where you have to constantly train new people, even if you get the funding to hire more people or to put in these programs and everything else, there's so much more there because you can't even fix it. You can't even begin to like get it set up right. Like you're gonna try your best, but you really have to get people to stay. Yeah, you have to get people to stay working there, and you have to like have a consistent environment. That doesn't make any sense. That tangented wrong. That tangented really. There's like no connecting thing there.
No, I get it. I mean, is the high turnover rate, is that because the pay is not competitive or because it's such a high stress job?
It's a high stress job, low staffing.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of people. A lot of times they usually are like almost always low staff. People are gonna almost always end up doing doubles, or they're gonna do 12-hour shifts, etc.
Which puts more pressure on you guys.
Yeah, and you're working in a stressful place. Like, every job is stressful. You should always take your mental health into consideration. Always. Like, if you need a mental health day, do it. But you're in a place where you should be encouraged to take a mental health day.
Yeah.
Because you're working in mental health. Like, really. Like, you need to take care of yourself. Like, you have to get your sleep. I was dying, man. I was so sick that year that my schedule had it had switched, and I couldn't get it switched to like anything normal.
It's hard on your body doing that.
I was sick every single holiday. Like,
yeah.
Whether I was working or I had the day off, every single holiday I was in bed. Like, I don't remember what, like, I remember being like woken up after, like, I couldn't wake up for, like, New Year's. I couldn't wake up at all. I woke up after New Year's had happened. I was, like, in bed and just, like, being given soup, and I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, fuck. Like, not again. Like, dude. Around, like, 1,000, it was just, it tears you down.
Yeah.
Like, physically. Like, you can't hang without sleep. You can't hang without, you know, having the ability just to, you know, do stuff. It's just survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you end up with people who, you'll see some very successful people end up in a mental health facility. You like, oh, that would never happen to me, so on and so forth. People with bachelors, people with PhDs, you know, someone who literally had to run a different place, like themselves.
I know a guy who worked at a mental health institute and had kind of a mental break and went off the deep end.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Would you say that do you guys get a lot of homeless?
That's usually where you see a bit of like the drug come in. Yeah.
It's from
it's
that
like
demographic.
from people who were picked up and they, you know, I don't know if they were picked up, they went to like, you know, maybe the jail first and, you know, then to like SV, then to us or like, well, them, because I don't work there anymore. But like somewhere along the line, like you'll see a lot of that, because there's usually drugs involved. A lot of times, like the homeless people that we would get that, you know, didn't have a place to go afterwards, or like, you know, how we had to help find a place and like they had to help like actually, you know, figure all that out. A lot of that happened because there were drugs involved. They were set up with a place that they could go to, you know, through Humboldt County, through a conservator, public guardian, their case manager with them. Like they were helping take care of them. But if they, you know, didn't want to get back to the place on time, they didn't want to go back to their house on time, they didn't want to, you know, do it because they were out and they wanted to do something else.
Yeah.
It really depends. There's a huge level. And it's not all bad. It's really not all bad. I know I'm saying this like...
No, it doesn't sound bleak. It's just hard because...
Like, I wish I'm going to dial back the past 30 minutes.
Just like, fuck. We have not even... Listen, this is... We have not even gotten as wild as some
No, but I've said too much.
No, you haven't. No. I think people need to hear that because it is still so taboo. Mental health in general. Like, not enough people really recognize the impact that it has on everything.
Honestly, like... The job I have now, I have never had one nearly as supportive.
What are you doing now?
Good question.
You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it.
Good question. No, we're just gonna... It's a good question. I work at a place.
Okay. With other people?
Yes, there's other people there. Yeah.
Nice.
It's cool.
That sounds like a great gig.
I know, right? There's like, you can talk to people. It's great. There's interaction.
You get to socialize. They're supportive.
Yes.
That's
I'm allowed to wear jeans on... Okay, well, I'm allowed to wear jeans once a month. It's the last Friday of the month.
Okay.
But, yeah,
better
it's
than
pretty cool. It's pretty
no days a month.
Right? It's an option. No, I think it's probably the most supportive place I've ever worked. Because everywhere always does that, like, we're your family. Treat us like a family. We're a family here. It's a thing. And they emphasize that really bad. And I think that is one of the most toxic lines of bullshit that you've ever been fed as a worker. Because at no point does any place that walks up and goes, yeah, we're a family here. We really want you to like really just see us as your family, like an extension of that, etc. It's toxic bullshit. It's partially just a guilt thing to make you feel so out. They're trying to make you like feel like, oh snap, like they really want me here, etc. And you're gonna feel bad if you try to call out. You're not gonna want to, you know, take care of yourself. You're literally gonna be scared to like shitless to go talk to your supervisor because you need to have a doctor's appointment, or because like, you know, somebody's having, you know, maybe a family member's having a mental break and you have to get the fuck out. Like, you need to go for a day or something. You can't say anything, or you take a long lunch. Like, you will be terrified to say anything, and you just be like, as it puts like this huge pressure of like, oh, you can't let anybody down. You can't like take that time, so on and so forth. Versus a space where I absolutely want to be there as many days as possible. I don't want people to have that stress because we don't sit there and go, we're a team, but we're a team. You don't have to be like, oh yeah, we're family.
Yeah, it's not
but like
forced.
it's not a forced thing. It's a natural like, hey, we have to get these things done. You know, we're gonna do it. Hey, can I, you know, support you? And literally, you can ask for support. And if you need to go to a doctor's appointment, it's like, yeah. Response has always been to like, take care of yourself.
That's cool.
It's never like, when are you gonna be back? When can you be back? Will you be in like? It's not that like, will you be here tomorrow or like any like pushing or anything like that. It's just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, let me know what's up. That's it.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it's
right?
like it's this bit. Yeah, it's like it's really like it's the most understanding place. I think I walk in every time to go talk to my manager, and I just sit there and I will like give way too much information as like it's an autopilot. Like I swear this is like a legitimate reason to not be here. Like I promise. Just like start figuring out like all these things are happening, and just like just go, and then she's just looking at me like.
It's okay.
You're good. Like you're fine. It's okay. Like, you know, like, and I always like 3 steps ahead. I'm like, okay, who can cover this if I need to cover like blank, or if I need to take care of that, or like, is this good to go for like the day, like just in case, like, and I'll sit there and like I'll go through all the things, and the world does not crumble. More people have to answer the phones, but the world doesn't crumble.
I think that's rare though. Is the problem an environment like that?
It feels really rare.
Yeah.
It feels really rare because I have worked in a few different places. I have, you know, the mental health facility even, you know, said that they were all about the mental health. But at least when I was there, which it's been years, mind you, I haven't worked there in years. I do not know their current state. I am not attempting to comment on their current state.
This is all alleged information.
This is all like past, old, so like, geez, it's probably nothing, like totally different.
Yeah, they probably have a completely different staff now.
What would that turn over? Like, I would be shocked.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh.
Yeah, that was not the best. God, at least back then, I just recall there just being like it was kind of hard for people to actually take like a mental health day. Like there was like acceptable reasons to like go and be off work for like, you know, appointments, etc. And people were like, you know, were able to be chill about it and figure it out and everything. There was a huge pressure behind it though.
Yeah, it's like that unspoken. Like that, oh, you're really gonna take time off to go?
Dude, like how would you do that? Like,
yeah.
Like, oh fuck, it's like. Really, you're gonna be off work? Like, are you kidding? Like, dude.
Great. Now I have to pick up an extra shift. Thanks.
Right, or you have to work extra hard because like you're down a person.
Yeah.
And it means something to be down a person. Trust. Like we had days where it was every single day that week, like not every day, every single week, on like one day a week, we were always gonna be down a person because you're trying to fill that slot, and it definitely. You feel it. It's a weird thing, but like you know that you're down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of those jobs you don't really want to be down a person.
Yeah. It just makes it harder on everybody.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like you're fully aware that it's harder on everybody to like to an extent where like you don't want to do it.
You're like hyper aware. You're like, oh man, I can't take this time off to go do what I need to do because then I'm gonna screw over everybody I work with.
Yeah. That's a big thing, is like it's just heavily like you can't do it. And then even, you know, and there were times where it was like, hey, if you find your own coverage, like just let me know and it's chill. That was the best.
Yeah.
That was my favorite supervisor. There was one, they were fantastic. They didn't stay in that position super long. But they were amazing. They were a nurse and they were amazing. It was just like hey, things need to happen. Okay, cool. Like, you know, like if it's short notice, like you're not giving like a proper like 2 weeks or whatever, like to put it in before the schedule comes out, go find yourself some coverage. Bring it back to me. Cool, got it. Let me know both you guys confirmed. Like,
it's all good.
It's good. Like, you're good. Like, you're set. Like how many people do we have to work that day? Ooh, yikes. Go find somebody. Okay, you found. Okay, great. All right, bye. Like, got it written down.
No stress.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
Yeah, and it's way easier because you can go talk to you can talk to your peers and be like, hey, can somebody cover this? It's a little different half the time when like the boss is like, hey, you want to pick up this extra shift, or hey, you know.
Yeah.
There's a pressure there.
There's that undertone.
There's that like.
Come on.
Yeah.
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 Do you think that the funding's getting better because is that like a administration change thing where now that Biden's in?
That no, because
you haven't worked there. I'm out here. I'm swinging from the hip. I'm just trying to make connections.
It's just like I can totally do this. Like I got this. Long reach. No, that's a Humboldt County thing. They've just been actively working. As far as like as long as I've even looked in slightly into the mental health like pool of information, meant like Humboldt County has really been working on it, and they have maintained working on it.
Yeah.
And they don't stop.
I just asked because there's that narrative that, you know, the mental health thing is all on the left, that they're the ones that care about mental health. You know what I mean? And so I didn't know if that was tied to like, oh, Trump pulled funding from that or something.
That's some really far-reaching shit, man.
I'm out here. Sometimes you got to swing from the hip and just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, you know? That was not one of them.
No.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
Do you think that's okay? Let's swing. Okay. I'm gonna swing again.
Okay, you try.
Do you think that everybody is more focused on mental health now, and like the culture around it is kind of growing because of social media?
That's an easier like link.
That was my
better link. There you go. You can argue like 1,000 things are because of social media. Easy, because the way it literally links the internet in general. Everything.
Yeah.
It's the same reason nothing's private. It's just, yeah. It links it all. Like, people are going to put out that information. They're going to, like, slowly but surely, you see more and more, like, posts coming out about, like mental health jokes even, and then, like, making it kind of more normalized to discuss it. Gosh, like, there's so many, like, different ones where it's become, like, more and more over the years. I've seen it more prominent and more, like, relaxed and, like, less, like, oh shit, they posted that? Like, holy fuck. You know, and you're sitting there like, oh my God, that actually went on their feed. Now they're just like, you know, re-sharing whatever, and you're just like, same mood. Like, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just way chiller. There's like a level, where it's not as
niche.
Yeah, it's more acceptable. And that's within context though, because you have to think about the generation that's really using those apps and like everything else.
Yeah.
So again, like more towards like our generation and definitely younger, they're going to be able to go about it and they're on it, whatever. You go, you know, keep going higher. There's people who are like, I don't care about Facebook. I don't care about, you know, Twitter, etc. Or they're not looking into it as much. It's too much. They don't want to keep up with it. Or they are on Facebook and those other things, but they don't have the friend group that would share that. And they have like their preferences, because Facebook does, Facebook does all those like nice settings and everything, where like comes up with like the perfect thing for you, where it's like, oh, you're like X amount to the left. Oh, like you like seeing things about this. Oh, I was listening to your phone the other day and I'm going to show you car ads because you told me to buy a new car now. Oh, like they do the whole thing. I think I talked about like online therapy and got like 4 different things for online therapy on there. It was just, they were going, and like, so you just even text the therapist. It was just like right there.
It'll
get
you.
As I say that, I'm totally going to have some more tonight.
I'm going to have it because you said it. My phone's going to pick it up and I'm going to be like, oh shit.
There it goes. It's done. Like it's pretty quick and it's ridiculous. But that's half of it, is what do you actually see. And some people don't look outside their context. That's actually like the reason I'm terrified with PC culture, is because people don't look outside their context. In your context, you have X, Y, and Z people who share, this information all the time. This is like their views. You know what's cool to say, not say within that context. You know what's like acceptable, socially acceptable within that context. And then you meet somebody else and their feed may be like way more liberal, or it might be way more Republican, or it might be like whatever else if you want to go politic wise, or it could be, just way more like conservative. We don't say that, this or that, or we're like extra pro blank. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just whatever direction you want to go. And you're not going to be PC. You're gonna go to have a conversation and you're suddenly going to be, you're fucked. Good luck. Good luck.
Moral of the story, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
Are you on social media a lot?
I just, at this point, I scroll through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just take a note a little bit of, like, if I like someone's page, like something that they post or whatever, it's, like, instantly within that week, I just almost only see their shit and then ads for stuff.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. There's like I tried to delete a bunch of people off there, but it was really tedious, and I was like, this is really hard. They don't make it easy.
It's not like you can batch click a bunch of people and delete them. You have to go through each person.
And then I also kind of feel like a dick, but then I'm like, I haven't talked to any of these people. There's some people like I just really like I said hi to like once or twice, and like I thought they were chill.
Met at a party one night and never talked to again.
Right?
You're like, I'm still following this person.
I don't fucking know who this. I actually don't know who this is, but like we always react to each other's shit, so like I'm really cool with them on that level. But like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I don't post hardly anything anymore. I'm like try to bring it back a little bit, but I also don't want to post shit, and I also forget to take pictures. Like I'll do shit, and then I won't take like a picture.
You're actually
like,
living in the moment? That's
I
weird.
know, it's so
Wow.
crazy.
Who does that?
By living in the moment, do I even live though?
I don't think so. I don't even think it really counts.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you didn't
feel like it
upload
counts.
it to Instagram, it wasn't actually a real moment.
I know. I was like really proud when I was like, no, I am taking photos. When I went like, it was like some beach or whatever, and I was like, I'm taking photos. I'm doing it. It's happening. It looks fucking gorgeous. I'm gonna fucking take a selfie. I'm taking a selfie today, and I went full on. Like, we're taking a selfie, we're taking photos, and I'm gonna post this shit. It was so tedious though. Oh my god! Like, you have to like stop, like take time out of like what you're doing. Stop looking at my dog.
Then you gotta think about a caption, like oh, what's gonna. Yeah.
Fuck the captions, man. Like, it used to be so much easier. Like, when I was younger, holy shit, everything was just like, yeah, good, got it, done.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's not like that anymore.
No, I mean, and there's people who like literally post things multiple times a week, and they got it. They know exactly what they're going for. They got the social, like, and I'm like, go you.
Yeah.
That's
whatever
the life
it
you
is,
want to
they got it
live.
down.
Of, like, you go have at it. If you're like, I forget to take pictures every time I put, like, if I do my hair or makeup or something. I'm like, I don't remember to take photo. I don't remember to, like, every time I go, oh shit, I can post. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, no.
It's too late.
Pulls up phone. Ooh, not taking that picture. Slides phone away. Just kidding. Not happening today.
I'm trying to wean myself off of it. It's addicting is the problem. And it's not even addicting in like a good way where you feel like you're getting something out of it.
It's mind numbing.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
what
even
it is.
a good mind numbing either. It's like
it's shitty mind numbing. It's like, why did I like you scroll for an hour and you never feel good about yourself afterwards? Like what did I don't even remember what I was looking at.
Like 3 things of clickbait at least.
Yeah.
Of like, oh my god, I can't believe she did that to him or whatever crazy thing of clickbait, and you're just like going down this rabbit. I thought that was
it's like, whoa, clickbait, good sound effect.
Oh, wow, right? It was just like, hey, Netflix is telling me that I need to watch things. Great, that's so cool. Man. What?
Oh, please tell me it's not like a mental health documentary.
I cleared it. I have no idea what it was. It's always something random.
It just makes me mad now, actually. Like, Instagram's the only thing that I can scroll through and not, like, get pissed off and be like, I need to get off this shit. I still
get ads on Instagram.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
And then I click through, like, if I try to click through stories, I don't even realize that most of the ones I clicked on, like, I clicked through were ads. And there's only like a couple of them that were actually like.
Oh, they do it on stories too? I don't fuck with the stories. I don't scroll through it. I don't care enough about anything.
Yeah, I'll click on the stories because I'm like, well. Like, I have a friend like always posts like I don't have TikTok. I do not have TikTok. I have not
That's
got it.
That's where I draw the line.
I was just like, I'm not
there.
doing it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually. But like there's somebody has TikToks.
You gotta hold out. Man. You gotta hold out, Angel. We're a dying breed.
The dying breed has not downloaded TikTok. Did not make an account.
There's only like 5 of us left. We're gonna have to start a club.
Oh my gosh.
Hold each other accountable. It's gonna be like, hey, we're not joining TikTok.
Just pulls out Instagram stories, but I know this person posted like
yeah, and all that TikTok shit's on Instagram now.
Yeah,
like you're still seeing.
You see it all the time.
Yeah,
you can't actually escape.
Yeah,
there is no escape.
It's a void, and it's got us all.
They send this shit to me like via Messenger. Like, some funny shit though. I don't know.
Some of it is funny.
Sometimes I'm just like, that's the
problem.
But Vine, man.
I miss Vine.
It is like this gen's Vine.
Yeah.
I still don't even know why Vine left. I don't even remember.
I think it's a lot like Flappy Bird, wasn't it? Like it just was too big. Yeah. I think. I might have just pulled that out of my ass.
I think you totally did.
But it sounds good, doesn't it?
No.
They got so big that they just couldn't deal with. Well, that's what happened to Flappy Bird. Is they got so big.
They couldn't.
Everybody was shitting on them like this game's trash. All these other companies that make games. And they just pulled it. They're like, okay, fine. And they just stopped.
Then people were selling phones that still had it downloaded.
For thousands of dollars. Yes. That was a simpler time.
Crazy. Yeah.
That was a simpler time.
Was that really a simpler time? Or was that like towards the beginning of the end? Because I think that was like one of the markers of like, oh, this is not good. If you have a game, like it became popular based off social media.
It was popular for like a week too, which is weird. It felt like it was there for a week.
In Humboldt County.
Oh, true. We're behind the times.
Dude,
it could have been out for a year before that. Yeah.
The Roto Curtain just blocks us with like so much shit. There's a delay, man. There's always like a delay coming up here.
Do you think that was the start of where all this shit began, was back then?
It was before that, but that's one of like the moments you could definitely like take down is like media and like popularity got to the point where a game, like not just within one county, A game
everywhere.
like everywhere got super popular, and then to the point where people are able to sell a phone for thousands of dollars that's worth like $100. It's a fucking piece of shit. Like
they'd be old iPhones too. It'd be like an iPhone 4,
Yep.
and they'd want like $3,000 for it.
Yeah, because it had it.
Yeah.
And people bought that shit.
I know.
And that's a really good indicator of like it was going downhill.
Yeah, that's true.
It was never
the people
gonna
that
get good
bought
after
it
that.
were a good indicator of like, okay,
The fact that it actually sold and like
we
that
need
was
to
a
pay
big
attention to this.
The game like reached that like level as well. Yeah, it's kind of scary. I mean, you have to think of like how big just America is, man. Just the U.S. Like just cut out everything. Just U.S. man. Just United States. Fucking huge.
Where do you think this goes if we stay on this current trend of what we're dealing with currently?
Oh. I don't think it goes into a good place. That's the whole point. That's like, again, like it's because we're in a huge place. There would be literally like a country, like just there's like so many different people in so many different areas. And we're keeping everything connected without understanding that every place is different and every place has its own set of rules. Like New York versus, LA.
Versus Texas.
Versus like anywhere in Texas. Pick a state, pick a city, go for it.
Yeah.
They're all different. They're all going to have different shit going on. They're all going to have their own little world going on. And one of the craziest things about the US is that we're sitting here and we're putting out blanket rules. We're huge. We have all these like micro entities, like micro little areas, and we're putting out blanket rules and blanket everything else and blanket PC that doesn't fit where it is. And don't get me wrong, the state has, some control there too, but a lot of them just kind of fall in line to whatever the big blanket thing is going to be. And you keep going down that path, you just end up with rules that make no sense for where you are, don't apply. This is why you have people like pissed off half the time. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't even exist. They're like, this isn't even real. Like, why are you mad? Like, I don't get it. Because they don't see shit. Like they're literally they're in a whole different area, and people, get offended that they don't see that shit. But they're not where they are. Like they're in a totally different place. Like go check out like Europe real quick. Like look at the size. Pick it up. Like just look at like, just take like, oh God. You can go from like, I lost my brain again. But you can literally like within an hour traveling, you could end up in like at least 3 different places. Here you travel an hour, you're lucky
California.
if you like go to California. You're in California, you drive an hour, you're still gonna be like
you drive 12 hours, you're still in
California. Like you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They have a fuck ton of different rules, a fuck ton of different like actual like shit happening there properly versus this, where we're attempting to do like blanket rules without understanding people do have different worlds and different contexts that they live within, including like the counties and the cities have very different contexts that they live within.
Do you mean that in terms of like the restrictions that have been going on with like COVID, or just in general with everything that's going on now?
In general, but I am keeping it very, very generalized.
You are. I'm
really,
trying
really
to like
vague.
paint you into like a more concrete
God, like
picture.
I would
like,
really love.
it's good.
To, like,
you should think about running for politics. I think you would. You got the like. Oh, we're just gonna navigate. We're gonna sidestep this and come back to it.
There's absolutely an idea in my head. But I can't. There's just again.
You gotta
like,
say it. You gotta say it now.
I can't really go. I can't go like deep on a lot of things. Like when it comes to shit that's public conversation.
Because of the job, or just because of you want to protect.
Live.
Oh,
like I would like to live.
See, I'm not.
It's scary.
My opinion now is like let them come, if they're gonna come, because
Congrats.
I don't.
That's some cojones.
Well, it's not even like. It's. I don't want to live and not say what I want to say. And I don't mean that in like a kind of like a douchey way where it's like, oh, I'm just going to say whatever I want to say and offend whoever I want to say. I think, because...
Like, why is that considered a dick move to like just actually want to be able to exist? Like
because
that?
PC culture says now we have to assimilate. We have to make everybody feel good. And even if you accidentally offend somebody, it doesn't matter. You're fucked up for doing that. Even
if they don't bother to correct you. You. And you have no idea.
And a lot of people don't. That's the craziest thing is you can't even ask questions if you don't understand. People are just like, oh, no, you need to take your own time and you need to go learn this.
if you have, oh, I had a whole conversation about this yesterday. If you have no idea what you need to be looking up to learn, how the fuck are you going to learn it?
You're fucked.
You're screwed.
Yeah, you're not going to.
And then there's like the most common thing is, person A is going to make a bad joke, or they're going to say something that's not cool anymore. Like they're going to use lingo that's like, it's from like 5-10 years ago. Not cool.
Yeah.
Back up, bro. Like not allowed. But they have no idea because they're still hanging around people who aren't up to date either. They don't like have people really like saying anything. And then person B is going to sit there and they're going to take offense and they're not going to say a fucking word. They're going to say shit. But when they leave, they're going to say hella shit. Suddenly, like, it's on. Like, you're lucky if person B doesn't go for person A's job, if person B doesn't, like, go and, like, tell other people around them who work with them, or whatever it is. They rather just kind of watch that person's life burn because how dare they not know something that they're not even going to bother to correct. Person A has just walked away from the situation. They have no idea they did anything wrong. They have no idea, like, aside from maybe, like, ooh, their body language shifted. Yikes. That's about it. Like, they're like, maybe that was off. And they might, like, avoid saying in the future, but there's no discussion there. Like,
no.
Person A and person B don't ever, like, reconcile, like, hey, that wasn't cool. I appreciate you didn't do that. Like, they're never going to get cool at that point. Because person B just went, all right, we're going to light you on fire, man. Like,
that's it. The only discussion is the shaming online. That's the discussion.
Yeah.
Is them going after you.
Yeah, and you don't even you'll find out like after the fact how bad you fucked up, and you could have you could have saved the situation, you could have explained yourself, you literally could have like actually genuinely learned something and been actually like like, oh snap, really? Okay, now let me bring that to the world and let me be better in that aspect, and actually maybe I can actually understand and go forward with that and help you on this whatever quest of change this or that, but they didn't do it. They usually won't. Or there's another option where person B just goes straight into fucking yelling at person A, like, and just going into attack mode because they can't stop for 2 seconds and think maybe this person isn't in my box.
There's no dialogue anymore.
Yeah, there isn't.
It's like if you were in school and you went to your math teacher who might have a PhD in math or whatever, wherever they went, right? Didn't Turpin have a PhD? That's the only reason I said that is Turpin's on my mind.
Dog. Oh, God.
T-Pain.
Jeez.
Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. If you went, so whatever, they have a higher education in math to be able to teach, presumably. And so you go and ask them, hey, how do you do this problem? And they're like, oh, no, I'm not going to tell you that. You need to go home and you need to figure that out on your own.
The worst thing is they wouldn't even tell you to figure it out on your own.
That's true. They just say fuck you and then walk away.
Fuck you, like how dare you not know, and then they just leave.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even get to go figure it out on your own. Like you wouldn't even know enough that you actually had to look something up right then. You just get to fuck off.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. That's
genuinely
why I say let them come, because I don't want to play into the crazy anymore. It's just like I worry because if enough people play into it, that shit's gonna be normal. And that's going to be the new normal. Yeah. That's my approach.
I don't know. I haven't been able to, I guess, relax all the way on it.
Well, you're like living in the actual real world. I'm doing a podcast, living at home with my parents. Yeah. Like, my life is, I'm just trying to wade through the swamp right now.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I'm in the world. I've been working the entire time. I never, stopped. Yeah. And it's fine. It's chill. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Is it good?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's definitely not good. I should not be that afraid to say anything.
I can tell you're passionate about this, but it definitely
it's severely vague. Yeah, everything I'm saying is really vague and keeps getting drawn back, and it's for a reason. There's that lack of comfort to really express.
Actually, that scares the fuck out of me that people.
It's kind of awful.
Yeah, it's sad,
really
right?
Kind of awful. Because it's just why. Yeah, it's one of the main reasons why I don't bother actually doing anything with the social media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want I don't want to be posting
misrepresented.
Shit. Yeah, I don't want Again, there's so many just instant assumptions, man. Instantly, you share one thing. It could be such a great just. Fucking hilarious thing, and then
they take it and run.
Yeah, and then you have to sit there. You have to answer to like
You have to apologize.
I just ignore it.
Oh yeah.
And I know that's shitty. Like I'll like if like someone like popped off. I remember, God, I don't even remember what I was sharing about. Maybe it was probably some fucking political shit like forever ago. I think this is like what kind of fueled it extra. I think I was like sharing some shit, and half the time it was fucking bullshit. And it was kind of funny. It was just like whatever. I don't like it's just ridiculous. Like it's stupid. Like a lot of it is stupid, and a lot of it's like just like basic breakdown of crap, and then I could like start getting paragraphs like in comments, and like it was like a reshare, man. Like it wasn't even like it wasn't my content, like none of that. It was a reshare, and then I remember like reading a comment and then just going, "They missed the entire point." I'm like, they didn't even like. Did you even read this? Like you're not registering the information. You're not digesting it. The lens that they were viewing it through was like so thick that they couldn't like think outside the box on it at all. They couldn't just take a step back and just look. They're like, I'm in my world, I'm in my context, my lens, this is where I'm at. And it was so like, I remember just looking at it and I was just like, no. I just didn't even respond. I didn't say anything. I just like put my phone down and I was just like, fuck, that's awful. I just had a drink and I was like, fuck, man, that's like ridiculous.
This is why I don't like social media. Well, I respect that more. I don't really respect the people that apologize right off the bat when they... For like a joke, especially, it's like, why are you? What are you trying to gain from this?
Like, I'm sorry, you were offended. Let me explain where I'm coming from. Like, if this is an issue, like, let me know.
What gets me even more mad is the people who are choosing to be offended for other people.
Ooh,
that's what kills me inside when I see that.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Because why? Why are you choosing to be upset right now?
You're upset, but you have no actual reason to be. You're showing sympathy, upset, like sympathy, like anger,
virtue signaling that you're mad for these people.
Yeah, like, are you trying to get laid? Like, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, what's happening?
Okay, like I don't get
what's
it.
What's going on?
Yeah. What's your reasoning here? Is it trying to fit in? Do you think it's socially acceptable? Is this what you were brought up to think was like what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because you make no sense.
Oh my God, I was on Twitter a couple of days ago and I saw this tweet from this girl. Oh man, it's bad.
Not even on
it's
Twitter.
bad. I can do Twitter for like 5 minutes a week and then it's just like I want to shoot myself. Oh, it's bad. Don't. I'm trying to delete it. I'm trying to delete it. I downloaded it like a month ago and I can't. God. But this girl, I don't know if she's a comedian, which would make this so much worse, but she posted something 10 years ago, I think, and she was like, "Oh, I'm making Kung Pao chicken, but don't worry, my cat's not in it," or something. So some kind of fucked up joke, but from 10 years ago where it was probably everyone was dying laughing. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's super fucked up.
Yeah.
But then cut to today, like a week ago, she went on some podcast and was talking about, or made some tweets. She tweeted another thing that was like, people need to stop being racially insensitive with just going off, like talking basically about what she did 10 years ago, saying how fucked up people are for doing that and that they're monsters and they need to be canceled and all this wild stuff.
Cancel culture.
And then someone screenshotted her tweet from 10 years ago and tweeted it back at her, and it blew up. And so for the past week, she's been apologizing, saying, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was wrong then, and I'm just trying to be on the right side now. And, just because I said it back then doesn't mean that it's right." All this apology tour. Yeah.
Number one, low-key fairly stupid for the trying to go off about it to begin with. Like the starter part.
Yeah.
That was like, all right, that's where you fucked up to begin.
Yeah.
But fair enough. It happens.
Yeah.
Whatever. On the other end of it, it's like you're literally getting fucking dragged from some shit like 10 years ago, man. Why is someone like allowed to drag you for something that happened like 10 years ago? And don't get me wrong, it's like words and everything else, but it's context. People are like going out of their way. There's oh God, which cat movie is it?
Garfield.
No.
Oh.
I mean, they probably fucking canceled that too. But there's God, wasn't Aristocats, was it? Maybe. It might have been.
They're trying to cancel that?
Not like they're not gonna cancel the whole thing. There's a movie, I think it's Aristocats, I can't remember the fucking name. But there's literally like a one little like less than 5 seconds, man. Like it's 5 seconds, like maybe 30. It's not like it's such like a tiny brief moment in the song. Like, I didn't even fucking notice it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't notice it at all. I think the whole fucking movie got taken off of like Disney or some shit because of it. They got taken down from somewhere. There's literally this tiny little clip, and they're all they're singing and whatnot. Like they're doing this jam, and there's a Siamese cat, and the Siamese cat totally did like a non-PC joke now. I can't even fucking goddamn.
Do you know what the
I am
joke
really
is?
Censored.
Angel.
I am like really censored. Like, I can't even.
I'm
what?
like,
Like
I'm
the fear
like,
of even saying
I know.
like what things were.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to push
she's on
you
the
into
edge. No.
to doing anything. But I feel for you. Like I can see
It's just
the angst of like the bullshit.
It really strangles a conversation when you can't even discuss the things that you can't discuss.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, the listeners on this.
There's like next to nobody.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
offense.
my mom might say, "Hey, Nick, what was this about?" But nobody's gonna cancel you for this.
I have not like officially watched or listened to an entire one.
Some of them are long.
They're really
Some of them
long.
are long.
Like I tried, like I was
Some
tweeting.
of them are long.
There's the one with like you and Kaz, and I was like, oh shit, like I remember these things, and I was like, oh damn. And I was just sitting, I was listening, like I was cleaning, and it was just great. And then I never went back.
Yeah.
Like I paused that shit. I
No
never went
worries.
back. Are you kidding me?
They're long.
I think I skipped through a couple of spots.
Yeah.
To like watch like another one, like start it like, oh, I remember that. Skip. Okay, cool.
Listen to them
yeah.
listen to the ones that come out in like 5 years. I'm still learning.
Oh.
I'm still learning the basis of this.
You let me ramble way too much. Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm just trying to get you warmed up so that you tell me that Siamese cat joke.
He just made a Siamese cat joke, you know? It's like with like chopsticks and whatnot, and like a face and like a voice and things.
Okay. It's like a little racist.
Oh yeah.
You know what's...
Yeah, but back then, again, context.
Different time. That's the thing.
You're pulling something entirely out of its context.
That's the thing.
Which is crazy. And part of that is like Netflix and like Hulu and all that. It's partly their fault.
Yeah.
Streaming networks.
It's their fault for buying into it and pulling it down.
Ooh, not even that. The accessibility from the internet and everything else, and from that has made it. Previously, we would just mostly watch. Like we would watch the shit that just came out then and there, right? Like we'd be watching things in theaters, so they came out. What's on TV, and it was relevant things. A lot of times, it was more our time frame. And then if you chose to watch something from like farther back, etc., it was a little bit harder. You had to like have a copy of the movie or something else. It wasn't like so prominent. Now you're constantly able to watch all like the things from the past.
Nothing fades anymore.
No, it's all there in your face. They're dredging things up and throwing it in your face. And then people without even like they're putting it in the same category of like what's happening right now. They're putting the same like if that movie came out now, okay, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, you know better. Like half like a fuck ton of shit. Like you just be like, why would you do this? You know better. Like that's fucked. But if you look at it and you actually watch the movie with like when it was done, the context, everything else, like actually like leave it in its time when you view it, like why would you sit there and try and cancel the shit?
Yeah.
Why would you go after it? You wouldn't. It wouldn't happen. Not normally. But now there's so much fucking accessibility. It's all in your face. And that's most of the shit is like, a lot of older movies that people fucking love. And then we go after them one by one. Yeah. On some level. On a little bit of a level.
See, that's why I kind of have to check myself on that girl who tweeted that thing. Because part of me is happy she's getting dragged through it right now. Because nobody likes it when you try to push this propaganda bullshit, right? So saying what she said in the tweet that was a week ago or whatever, saying, oh, don't do all this shit. Nobody likes a hypocrite. That's the thing. So I'm happy in that sense, but I shouldn't be because it's bringing up the past. That's where it's bad. Because you shouldn't be able to, like, people grow. I'm sure this girl, in a lesser extent, grew, but people grow, and if we hold them accountable to what they said 10 years ago, then we're all fucked. Yeah.
I would be like, I was in like middle school, like freshman year. Maybe.
I said some wild shit in middle school. Yeah, I don't remember it, but I guarantee it.
I definitely said.
Yeah.
I said things that I know were totally fine then. I would be so lynched right now. Holy shit. I would burn at the stake. Like there's so many things like just basic like words, just basic lingo. Like, you know, just so such small things that like were totally fine, and now I would be dead. I'd be dead. I would go like,
which is crazy. Imagine if somebody had some miracle tape recording of you from back then and then came to you today and said, "Hey, I'm gonna get you fired. This shit's going out."
I mean,
that would be crazy.
I mean, think about like everybody you have on social media that you had when you first got it and who you've talked to back then.
I used to post songs.
Dude,
back when I first got it. That's how
I posted some stupid shit, but like, like your messages, like messages. Those are personal messages.
If those got out.
That's the problem.
I need to go delete some messages. That's the middle of this podcast. You can't delete it
from their end, though. You cannot delete it on their end. You can only delete it on yours.
Shit.
Yeah, you can delete your Facebook though.
Will that delete the messages?
I think you become a Facebook user after that. But I'm sure they can figure it out.
That's the thing, right?
It's really creepy because it's immortal. Like, it's gonna be there forever on some level. It's really cringy. Like literally, like I got the message and I was just
never
like,
really thought about the messaging aspect of it, right? Because that shit lives on the other side for equally as long.
Dude, like I got your message and what? Fuck, I was doing some stupid fucking like, what was it? Stupid memes. It was like a stupid ass meme. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, fuck, I hate myself. Like my phone down. I'm like, oh god. I was like, that's great.
But it's a different time.
It's an entirely different time. Yeah.
Why don't people get that? That's my thing. Why is everybody acting like they're holier than anything and nobody does anything wrong?
It should absolve them. I can't be bad if I'm sitting here preaching how bad this is. I can't be that person if I'm presenting this. I'm fighting against blank. You're going to sit there and you're going to tell me you have no prejudice in your mind. You're going to sit there and you're going to tell me you don't have a strict view in your mind some way or another. By saying that, by going out, by doing that, you have it, and you have it probably to a more disgusting level than anybody else. Because you overthink every little thing to like what potential like prejudice, what potential like negative connotation, like to the point where your brain is literally just like, and that's what you're preaching is like so bad constantly. I'm just afraid to talk.
So it's like
there's people who are literally like the
pastor who's secretly gay, and so he preaches anti-gay rhetoric because he's secretly trying to.
Yeah, there's some level there that's like you're trying to make up for, you know, what you think is super, you know, you had whatever thoughts or whatever else in the past, or you know, you may have said some shit or whatever, and you're gonna preach so hard to attempt to rectify that and shame everybody else. And half the time it's like that fucking person. They had some closet shit from 10 years ago. They feel bad about because they know it's no good now. And they're gonna go over like above and beyond and just get themselves just fucked. Like in a very terrible way. Because they're going above and beyond to attempt to, you know, show like, hey, I'm different. I'm so much more different than this. Why do you have to prove that?
It's that groupthink, right? That's what it stems from, is they want to fit into this group of people who are like, no, we're not like that. We're going to cleanse society.
We're so much better. We've never been like that.
Yeah.
It's like, no. You probably have been. You probably said some shit. You probably didn't realize you said some shit, and then you realized later, and then now you like, there's like a heavy guilt factor, and there's a heavy like, you can't say anything factor, and it's to the point where you're literally going to do some, you're going to go out of your way to go preach crap.
How do you feel about censorship?
It's fucking awful. Have you heard me the past, like,
I know.
I don't know how long
I just want to, you know, sometimes you have to put a fine point on it. Censorship
doesn't really benefit anybody.
You think it's better to just let it all out there?
Yeah. Do you like really think anybody's going to get any better? They're going to learn anything from it? They're going to learn to fucking hate people that are going after them for saying anything and everything.
Yeah.
They're going to learn to like, there's a literal anger on the other side. And that anger isn't from them being necessarily stupid or being like, you know, whatever else. The anger, people are like, why the fuck are you going to control this and that? It's because they don't want to have to deal with it. They don't fucking want that. Who wants to have their life micromanaged with rules that don't apply to their situation? That loops back to the beginning thing of like, you're going to sit there and you're trying to blanket push your crap onto people who have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Hell yeah, they're going to get angry. Fuck yeah, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Go home. Get out of here.
Go home.
Go home. Check yourself.
I get the sentiment. I understand where they're coming from in terms of like, say, the flat Earth videos, where they're like, we need to censor this so people don't watch it and
So you don't think it's real.
Yeah, but
Put a
the
fat
only reason they
disclaimer,
think it's real is because why would they censor it if it wasn't true, right? That's the big argument. And then
there's a heavy back and forth on all that stuff.
yeah,
Like,
and it
why
leads
would you
them down
censor
the rabbit hole.
Why would you censor it to begin with? Like, okay, it's stupid. The flat Earth videos are stupid. But with that being known, let them watch it. They can think whatever, and then let them watch other shit later on, or someone like come be like, "Hey, dude, watch this other crap. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?" And get checked on their own time.
Yeah.
Don't censor your fucking society to where they can't even see like half of the stupid crap, because you're gonna lead down fucking rabbit holes. You have people like super fucking paranoid because they do totally like literally Facebook, everything else it censors, it shows you only specific things. It does that shit all the time.
Yeah, manipulates your opinion.
Yeah.
On a lot of things.
It keeps you in one section. They label you and then they keep you there. And they'll adjust it. If you go out of your way to look somebody up or look something else up, pull that up onto your feed. Like, go to their shit and then like or react to it. Then they'll switch your shit. It's ridiculous. I have friends that are on like one side, and then I have like family members who we consider on like, other side, like more liberal versus like Republican, vice versa, whatever. And to actually get more of a mixed bag of shit, I had to actively go look up people that I knew were in one side or the other and go and like respond to something that was recent. Cause I was like, I swear to God, I'm going to be fucking okay. Like I'll like go like something that was recent. So it was like, it may not even been about like whatever, but just so to just fuck with the Facebook, like
just to fuck with the feed.
Yeah, fuck with the feed. Like give me something different, please. Like I
Let's
really
mix
don't
it
want
up
to
a
see
little
like
bit. I'm over this.
Like don't let me just see one thing constantly. Like I'm getting sick of it.
Yeah.
I start getting mad if it's the same name over and over and over again. You're like, fuck, man, I liked one post.
Yeah,
like,
my shit's like the same 4 people.
Yeah.
And then 100 different ads.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's like the majority of it. And then I feel weird because I'm like, why am I liking this person's stuff all the time? I'm like, this is really weird. Like, are they gonna think something? Because like they shouldn't.
I don't interact with anything. And I thought that would like help me out in the algorithm a little bit. It doesn't.
No.
They still have my shit locked down.
You don't react with anything, so you have no opportunity to change anything. If you
But it still changes. I think
it changes yourself what you talk about.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does that. It definitely does that. Mm-hmm. I think they also monitor how long you stay on a certain thing, right? So even if you don't interact with it and like it, he stayed on this particular tag for 30 seconds longer than the last one.
I
We're
get
going
so
to show
much
them
more
this shit.
now.
You know what I get a lot of now? Are the troll fake accounts of some online sex worker who doesn't exist being like, hey, come check out my page.
Bro, you really should not be blasting yourself like that.
Listen.
Oh, like listen, what did you fall for?
Let him come. I'm out here just digging in the weeds.
Oh God. I'm sorry.
It's good.
You get a lot of them.
Yeah. I get, like, those are the only DMs I get. It's those Russian trolls coming at me.
Wow. I mean, knock on wood, like I haven't had like a lot of like bots or anybody like message in like a long time.
I don't know where my shit is out on the web, but they keep finding it. Yep.
Nowhere good. I had to lock down my Snapchat for that reason. Somebody had like, I guess either they had a similar name or they were just using like the whatever name that I had on there. I still don't even use Snapchat really either, but I have it. And I just kept getting like random ads. Like people would like add me and then they would try to like send shit. And like the last straw was like someone just straight up like didn't say anything, didn't say a word, just sent a dick pic, like just like went full on and like a jacking video, like the whole like, and I was just like, what the fuck? So of course like I opened my shit because I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like who is messaging me? And like 2 people added me that day, so I was really tripping out because I'm like, I don't use this for anything. Like why is anybody messaging? And I was like, I was so angry. Like I was just like, is this fucking real?
Wow.
But they keep, it was a thing. I would get messages like, oh hey, were we just talking on like Discord, and I'm like, I have no one on Discord. I'm like, no. Like, we're just playing this game together. I'm like, nope, I'm not social enough to actually play a game where I'd meet somebody. All my games are totally not me communicating with anybody. Nope, not happening. I'm not that coordinated. Okay. Well, even if they're not a single like player, I'm so like just barely okay at PC gaming. Just
you have a PC?
I have a laptop.
Oh snap! What do you play?
Basic. Oh.
Wait, time out. Because I'm still.
Sorry, go back.
We're going to talk about that. I
Okay.
feel like this is a real problem, and I feel like it's been a problem in our society for a while that nobody seems to address, is the unsolicited dick pic. And to make matters worse, I feel like that's bad enough. I've never experienced one. Knock on wood. I could go my whole life without needing that. But the jacking off on top of it, I feel like that just adds like a new element.
So ballsy,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh my god,
that's some confidence though.
Yeah, it was ballsy. It was.
It's misplaced. Ballsy shit. But that guy is not censoring anything he's saying.
No.
Yeah,
absolutely
he's
not.
out here just that's swinging from the hip.
That's just they are definitely swinging from the hip. They went for it.
I had somebody else
on
that said they were getting some dick pics too. I feel like that's
a thing.
I feel like it's more common than people actually talk about.
Like, what do you get from that? Like, who actually responds to an unsolicited dick pic? Like,
that's the thing. Has it ever worked? Has anyone ever like messaged back and been like, "Let's meet up"?
They're about it.
That's
like,
the thing, right?
Did you accidentally send to another guy who was also about sending unsolicited dick pics? Like, is that how it played out? Because if that's a thing,
to catch a predator.
Oh my god, go you guys, have fun. But otherwise, I have no idea. It's just fucking. It's more like a what the fuck. I think. I technically responded one time. I fucking like gave my phone to a dude when I got that, because I was like in a group of people, and I'm like, let me see it.
Handle this.
I'll handle this. They came back. The person just did not like. They were like, "What the fuck?"
Obviously
nothing was there, but I just got like the response like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, I don't even know what exactly played out there, but top tier.
It doesn't go the other way though, which is weird, right?
Like, women don't sit there and actually,
shit.
I think they do that more often than people realize. Men don't complain about it though, but I do think that's becoming more common.
Really?
But I don't think it's unsolicited on that level, like full on. Like, I don't think they would start a conversation with just straight titties.
It's not out of the blue.
No, I feel like there's like some previous conversation there, I'd assume.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to do some research now. Like, I kind of want to find out. Like,
it's not the same.
I know some people are like, I'm gonna go do this, and I'm like, all right, go you. But they usually there's something.
Mm.
I wanna, yeah. Now I'm curious. I'm sure there's someone out there who doesn't give two shits, just goes for it. I mean, fuck OnlyFans, man. Just doesn't give a shit. They're just going for it.
Yeah.
People go make their money.
Yeah, they're making so much money. Is the crazy part.
They are.
It's so much money.
Kudos for, being about it. And obviously, everybody who does things like that, thank you on a different level. Appreciate it. I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and shame any worker on any front, because I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not gonna shame them. Okay.
Why aren't you gonna shame them?
Well, because I was just gonna go on the sentence of I could never fucking do it, because oh my god, I might have kids one day. Like, that was a plan. Like, what if they fucking see a picture of they go find a picture of mom doing what? Or oh, this is mom in this video. I don't know how they explain that to their children. I have no idea. Or if they just think they'll never see it. Or what if there's one day their son just comes in and they're pissed off because
Mom, I got bullied today at school and we need to have a discussion about why.
Oh, that's way further where I was going with it. But yes, absolutely get bullied at school. I would just go to it's just how would you?
That would be hard. That would be the hardest part, right? Is when you have kids.
Yeah,
but maybe not.
How would you keep them from seeing it? Would you have to?
Well, I don't think they're gonna want to see it.
I don't think it would be something they wanted. I think it would more be an accidental stumble, if anything. Mind you, it's hard to accidentally stumble on that shit. But again, kids.
I just fell into it. I don't know where. I
happened to view this. Oh
Someone
shit.
Someone tagged me in this picture.
It'd be more like their friend found some shit. Especially if their friend ever caught wind of them doing something like that. It'd be more one of those situations.
It would be so bad.
And that'd be kind of awful. And I feel like you have to have a talk with your kids in advance. Hey, side note.
Well, I had I had someone on who was a sex worker, and I think still dabbled in it, and I think did OnlyFans for a period of time too, and they just talked to their child.
They just like,
and they had a husband and were totally
like it was a
on
conversation.
board.
That's
They had yeah. I mean, it works for some people.
You genuinely would have to talk to your kid. I can't imagine.
Well, yeah, them just finding it would be way worse.
Dude, yes.
Way worse.
And I think that's like the biggest fear is like people like not willing to go and have a conversation first. But that's kind of really common. People are just not willing to have lots of conversations they really should go and have, like with their partner. The fact they have a husband that they've actually like communicated with about that, like that's huge. The amount of women that I've met that are just like, fuck, I don't give a shit what he thinks, this and that. It's like, you signed up to be in a relationship with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You signed up for a partnership. And like these are usually like monogamous relationships. Like you signed up to be one-on-one with this other human being. On some level, like you should say something. You should communicate to them.
You
like,
should at least know where they're kind of
like what's your opinion on this?
Yeah.
Like, and don't get me wrong, like they can't tell you to do or not do something, anything like that. But I wouldn't go full on disregard of like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. Like, he can think whatever, like, and pop off. Like those spiels, it's kind of like, why are you in a relationship then? Like, you should probably back out. Like,
yeah.
Like you either need to find out that they're cool with it, or like they're not, and like work out whatever shit you need to work out, or you should just get the fuck out because like you obviously don't give a fuck about another person and like their opinion and the whole nine.
I wonder if it's going to become more. I mean,
it is already more socially acceptable.
Yeah, I was going to say acceptable.
It's absolutely.
Yeah,
it is 110%.
Because all of these. I mean,
got
there's
like,
got to
people
be
on my Instagram,
hundreds of thousands on OnlyFans now.
Yeah,
and they're gonna. People are gonna have kids.
I know people who have kids who have
that do it.
Yeah, like I have them on my Instagram, man. Like there's.
Oh shit.
I have like I can. There's some shit. I follow a few people. Like I followed them prior. Don't get me wrong. I didn't like go out of my way to follow them.
Do you know them in real life?
Yes.
Okay.
The people I genuinely know, like, or I've met at the very least, or I like whatever. Like I know
Do their
these
kids
people.
know?
You know, only one of them offhand that I can think of has children, and I would doubt that she would ever keep a fucking thing from them, like on that front. She is like such a straightforward, like, this is what's up, this is what's going on, like handles her shit kind of person, like just very like a really good woman, like genuinely just. And I'm sure, I mean, one kid's not, I don't think really old enough to understand, but I'm sure the other kid is like aware of the situation, knows what's up, and it's just like, that's my mom, like. Whatever. It's but again, you have to there's a lot of communication. I can't personally do it. I couldn't do it.
He's just going around schools telling everyone thanks for subscribing. You guys just got my mom a new Bentley.
Just like walk around like, we're going on vacation next week. Bye.
Thanks for our trip to Hawaii. That would be the hardest part. Is just the kids. I feel like because you could deal with other people's.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I have met guys who are like some of my guy friends are like, dude, I am all for it. Like, I'm told, like, my girl has one, like, absolutely, she can take me to dinner. Like, and they're repping, they're excited. They're like, yeah, absolutely. I was looking at them like,
damn.
How about the person? Like, you care about the person, right? Like, not just the potential money?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Sugar mama? Okay, you want sugar? Okay. All right. That's cool. That's, you know what? People want to be sugar babies. That's on you. You want a sugar mama? Okay.
Everyone just got a way of life.
All right.
Who's paying for that, though?
For that?
That's what I don't get.
Same people who pay for, like, premium and to have, like, actual talks and whatnot when you go to, like, Pornhub and whatnot.
That's what I was going to say.
There's
so much shit out there.
To chat with a human. It's the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same ones who are, like, you know, go onto cams and actually go pay for cams and, like, it's the same ones. Absolutely.
There's actually an argument as to why sex work should be legalized, and it kind of ties into people like that, like people that aren't getting that contact in real life, that aren't having these relationships with people that.
It's kind of crazy that it's illegal to begin with.
It's weird.
It's
right?
really weird.
And it's weird that it's legal in Vegas.
Vegas is just
Vegas is its own place.
Vegas is a prime example of how you live within your own like little world.
Yeah,
within
say fuck
this
everybody
huge
else.
world. Like
yeah.
we are literally here's US and then here's Vegas. She's just like fuck off.
Yeah.
Vegas is like I'm doing me.
Yeah. Doesn't care.
Yeah, don't give a fuck.
But that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna pretend that everywhere else sex work is bad, and then you go to Vegas and you're like, oh yeah, no, it's cool here.
It's whatever. It's
yeah.
Chill. They're just.
What is that?
That's what happens when you have a fucking place this huge. this is the U.S., man. You're gonna have places where it's just like somehow that's cool, and then you're in somewhere totally different. And you're like, I don't know, the fuck, it's not cool here. People thought the same shit about like legal marijuana eons ago. Just jump way back in your brain where they're like, why the fuck can I smoke this over here, or I can get it medicinally over here, but I can't get it there? And they're like just tripping about it.
That's the
like,
really weird one.
They were tripping hard. Like same shit. They're just like, why is this legal in this state or in this like some even like districts?
You cross
counties.
this imaginary line and you can go to jail now.
Oh god. Yeah, I feel like we were talking like they like lived in like Washington or whatever. It was like, was it Idaho that like didn't have it legal yet, but
Probably.
Washington had it legal, and so they were near the border, and so they would go to like the dispensary. Like there was always a cop like stationed right there too, like right nearby. They'd go they would hit the dispensary, they'd bounce. And, the cop would like try to follow them, realize they're not going across the border. Okay, whatever. The cop would literally cross the border, like, and go pull people over because they're like, you can't have that shit. You're in Idaho now. You just crossed the border. You fucked up. Like, you can't go back home with that.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked, right?
When
like,
they camp outside
there.
of places like that, that's fucked up.
They're like near a place. It's like speed traps. Same shit, just camping, waiting. Like they know that spot's gonna be hot.
I don't get why Biden hasn't legalized it.
It's Biden.
Yeah.
It's Biden.
It's so sad how true that one statement is. It's Biden.
It's Biden. He's status quo, man.
What do you think about Biden?
Status quo. He is just classic liberal. He's perfectly classic liberal. He's not actually liberal in any way, shape, or form, really. But they slap the label on there, tell him to say X, Y, and Z, shove him to the front, and have at it. And he does whatever. He does whatever the corporate Democrats want. It's not about actual Democrats. It's about corporate Democrats. It's about the money. That's where he's at. He's not legit. He never was. And this happens every time they have an opportunity to maybe see somebody who actually gives a fuck or maybe is actually like on that level, like legit about the Democrat life. And they never make it. They never make it to primary. They never will.
Who did you want out of everybody that was running in the Democratic Party? Did you have a favorite?
Not really.
None of them.
Not really. I think at one point I was like looking at Yang, but like just otherwise, not really.
I know a lot of people that like Yang.
Yeah,
I like Tulsi.
I
like Tulsi.
It's all right.
I thought
it wasn't
she
bad,
might have mixed some
just
stuff up. They're all full of shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't trust anything.
Level, yeah.
Like it's mostly bullshit, and that's the thing is like you sit there and you watch them spew bullshit half the time. And they say whatever they know is going to do something, and then they promise X, Y, and Z, and they get all the support from the corporate, and then they get pushed to the front, and they're tired of experiencing Republican or experiencing this, so they'll go to the other one. They'll flip. And nothing really changes.
Yeah.
Because crazily enough, things are totally being paid for by like a lot of the same people. It's really weird. It's really weird.
Do you like Kamala? Oh, we're gonna go in.
Oh, you saw a look.
We're gonna go in.
To Kamala. Yeah. Probably, yeah. Be realistic. Get another one.
Okay.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you.
You gotta talk to the people. You gotta tell them about Kamala now.
I don't fucking know shit about Kamala. I didn't want to learn shit about Kamala. She is very much. She very much. God, I watched a few of like her interviews, and I was just sitting there. I was probably closer to the mic. I was like just sitting there attempting to watch a few of her interviews and whatnot, and like her, shit. And it's just, it's what I really hate about politics now. It's not politics. She didn't fucking say shit for politics at all.
It's a popularity thing.
It's not even like it's
all not this. That, it's like fitting the mold that they want.
It's social politics.
Okay, roll with that.
It's not real. It's social politics. So it's the same crap with people like going out of their way to be offended for somebody else and like pushing this fucking heavy narrative. That's where Kamala's at. She's one of those, what's in? What can I push? What can we go about? It's like go talk about abortion real quick. Whether you're pro, for, like, like let people do it, let people not do it. That's more of a social politic thing. That's not like That's not where are we going to get oil from? What wars are we like down to have? Like what kind of taxing are we going to really do? Like what, how are we going to maneuver this money and everything else? It's not like actual government where like it should really be involved. It's they go out of their way to go out and talk about more socially charged things. And 90% of the time, they're just lying to you because they know what one side or the other side is like going for. They know what's hot ticket because, social media and everything pushes certain things to be hot ticket things to be on one side or the other for. And then Republicans and Democrats pick their things and then they just go with it. And then you hardly hear anything real about what should actually be changing. Like, it was shocking. I mean, at the very least, healthcare was like, hey, that's actually kind of like a more decent one.
It's pretty relevant now.
Yeah. I mean, with COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't a great Bernie. Just, he was just gone right when everyone was suddenly like, we actually need everything he was talking about. Buck. Like, he dropped. Like, he was out. Like, he was actually trying to go handle his shit. And, like, dipped out. Like, when they're like, why aren't you attending this? He's like, I'm done. Like, I gotta go actually handle shit. Like, fuck off.
Are you talking about the bill that he wasn't there for?
God, I fucking know. It was, like, for the, like, to run for the primaries and everything. When, like, Biden, like, solidified. At that point.
Oh.
That was more, in my brain at the very least, like, towards, like, about a year ago. Like, COVID pops off.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie, like, dips. Because he's, like, actually trying to handle COVID, like, where he's at. And, like, actually, like, approach it there. Biden then gets to go up. Everyone suddenly realizes, oh shit, we don't really fucking want that. We need that over there, that like that whole thing where they're actually talking about making sure people are like taken care of on some level, like when it comes to this, when it comes to like healthcare, and when it comes to, having some sort of like universal like anything that's like basic, everywhere else does it, like we're kind of a joke. We're
struggling. Worldview right now.
We've been a joke, man. Like,
yeah, it's kind of rough
on a lot of levels.
My problem with Kamala.
Good redirect.
Thank you. My problem with Kamala is that, and I mean, they're like we just said, they're all full of shit. I mean, from the top down, Cuomo, Newsom, all the way up the ladder. But what really solidified it for me with Kamala was when she was debating Biden and, saying all this salacious shit about him, sexually assaulting these women and doing all these things. And then she gets put on the ticket and she starts riding the status quo. And then they asked her about it in an interview. And she said, oh, I didn't mean that. It was just, we were just debating. And she started laughing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What? Like, how is that? First off, even something you would remotely joke about. Just at any point in time. And then to throw that out as like a false accusation and just let it fly for any gain is just so fucked up. And yet, because she's a woman and because she's a person of color, we're just supposed to ride the line.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's also a big factor of like a lot of that gets pushed away. Like they start flooding the media with everything else. Let's ignore the fact that she said any of that.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to go.
Yeah, nobody talks about it anymore.
No, they're going to cover the tracks real quick.
Nobody talks about all the people that she locked up. Nobody talks about the evidence that she hid in court to lock people up. Like, no, there's some wild shit. It's
not going for a reason.
Yeah.
We look at your media, man. Everything's
it's not gonna
controlled
be on
there to a certain extent. Or even more of an extent. Censorship. Let's go down that rabbit hole.
Does it make you feel kind of like conspiratorial when you say that? Because it does me. Like when I start going off on the media is full of shit.
I would feel like, it's a bit like conspiracy, obviously.
But it's true. That's the crazy part.
I'm not gonna go down a full fucking rabbit hole and go big. Fuck, man, they're lizard people. Shit. Like, like I can't believe we have a lizard people running our cover. Like, I'm not gonna go that level. But there's a level of like they're literally just they're gonna do whatever they need to get in power, and they're gonna be a puppet. We have another puppet. She is just another puppet. She wants to be the one getting the money for it and having some sense of being in control. She doesn't have a lot of it.
Do you think Biden's gonna make it the whole term?
Fuck, dude. Oh god. Probably not. I don't know. He doesn't look like he's doing good.
Great.
He doesn't really look it.
It's not great.
And it kind of like that seems like why she's like a bit gun. Like she's like really excited too. Like you see, like there's like a level of like happiness being like the vice is because like she's second, right? She's just number 2. It's whatever. But she's number 2. Like he's totally not.
I don't even think she's really number
man.
2. I think she's like not. Number 1 behind the scenes.
She is absolutely, and you know what? And even then, like she's not even number 1 in reality. Even after that, because she's just doing whatever the money pushers tell her to do.
Yeah,
that's where she's gonna be at because she wants her funding.
She
wants her money, dude.
Oh man, did you see that video that went around for a little bit?
Oh god,
where, Biden is in an interview. And he's asked, like, oh, what would you do if you and Kamala had a disagreement on something? And he starts talking about it, and he's like, well, it depends on the issue. But if we reached a part where we had, like, a fundamental divide on an issue, I would just fake an illness and let her take over and do all. Did you not see that video?
I totally have not seen that.
Oh, man.
That's some pussy shit. That's like that's true. Sorry, that is like literally like cop out.
I'm gonna see if I can find this shit right now.
Oh god, like that is a cop out. Like on his end, that is a huge and then like a full on admission. That is sympathetic.
It's alarming. It's alarming, right? Who would?
There's some level like desensitization from it. I try not to even like. There's some level where like I don't want to know. I don't want to look, which is bad. It really is because like you should never like put your head in the sand. Like don't do that, etc. But there's like a certain level like you can't do shit, and it's like, ugh.
Oh, I fucking got this shit.
Oh, you got it. Oh, there's TV there.
Right?
I didn't even look.
Listen, I'm
well,
so
like black on
eager.
black. I did not even see there's a TV here. Okay,
I'm so
bad.
eager to use this because this is only my second time actually getting to use this, so I'm gonna jump on the opportunity.
Go for it. Do a thing.
This is that video. Let me see if I can. All right, let's see if this works.
YouTube privacy warning.
DuckDuckGo coming in with the disclaimer.
This is Dabu7. We have some strange comments being made by Joe Biden.
Okay, we don't need this guy's commentary.
Are you sure? It sounds really good. Like, so far.
And letting Kamala step up to the plate.
Who talks like this?
He even says he would fake an illness in terms of doing this.
All right, sorry, buddy.
I don't know. It sounds really bad.
Can we get to the?
He even says this.
Is it just this guy's comment?
Under certain circumstances.
Yep.
Of this.
Okay.
Yep. That was just really
All right,
bad.
that just kind of got awkward.
Yeah.
Jeez. Not everything's gonna be a. Not everything's gonna be a hit. I guess.
That's okay. Just edit it out later.
Yeah. No, I gotta leave it in. I try to not edit anything out of these.
That is so much scarier. Why would you say that?
You haven't said anything
No, I've just
remotely.
been fairly socially inept and like talked around things that like ranted really hardcore. It was so far pretty good. I expected nothing less, which is why I was like, fuck, did I really say yes? Like, shit, like, this is not going to go well. Like, why'd he even ask? I haven't seen this person in like 5 years.
I know.
That's the real question is like, so Nicholas, why did you decide?
Okay, time out, because that, we can go on that, yeah.
That dog video looks like it's going to be great.
I want to ask dogs questions?
Yeah.
See, this is the problem with what we've been talking about with censorship and stuff. You can't even find the video.
Yep.
I decided literally like 5 minutes before you got here that We're just gonna
Sorry.
start putting in. All right, fuck 'em. Never mind.
You tried.
I tried.
You did. It was
Um,
made.
what was I just saying?
You said something about deciding something 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna
5
switch to DuckDuckGo because I was trying to Google. There have been a lot of viruses and stuff that have come out of China, and so I was trying to Google that to see how many had actually come out of China,
Yeah.
and I could not find it on Google. Google would not show it to me. I was scrolling through pages. I went like 5 pages deep, could not find anything. It was all about how it was talking about COVID, how it's like a conspiracy theory that COVID came out of Wuhan, all this stuff. And then I Googled DuckDuckGo and went, and it was the first result. And it named all the ones that have come out of China. First result. No bullshit. DuckDuckGo.
What, is that just another search engine?
Yeah. But they don't track you. They don't store your information. They say they don't. They don't.
They don't so far. Give them time.
They might. if they get on Google's level, it's possible.
No,
it's possible.
A lot of places usually start out with like, we're not going to track you. We're not going to like have you pay for this. We're not going to do any of that. And then give it a little time.
Flip the switch.
Oh, yeah.
It's what goes on under the scenes. But they at least, they're not curating the information for you like Google blatantly does.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's to like a pretty excessive extent.
Yeah. But anyways, that was in a roundabout way, I guess. That's what happened in that video is he was like, I'll just like, I think he mentioned Barack Obama and was like we agreed with Barack, I would just feign an illness and let her take over. It was wild. It was wild.
Not shocked, man.
I don't know if he's gonna make it.
I mean, some of the other results are popping up where, just in regards to him calling her president instead of.
He's done that a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the video of him falling up the stairs to Air Force One?
I haven't even, no.
He fell 3 times.
Three times?
3 times. Fell 3 times.
Damn. I'm an asshole. I should not laugh at that. Wait. It's impressive though. 3 times up. Well, okay.
3 times. One time
a lot,
you get but one time you get it because he's up there.
Yeah.
Second time you're like, okay, maybe struggled to get his balance. Third time it's like
slippery or something.
What?
Like you should take your time after that though. Like after like the second time, like you gotta be embarrassed and like ask them to do the second time. But after that, like you should really just be like, it don't matter if I'm embarrassed or how I'm walking. Like I just need to get up.
Yeah, we gotta just keep it moving.
I just gotta get this done.
Yeah, we gotta
like,
get
like,
inside this
hold
plane.
on to like whatever. Just like we're just gonna crawl. Just what do you have to do? That's bad. That's bad.
It's scary. And I just don't feel like he's the guy to take us where we need to go with everything going on.
He's not taking us anywhere.
Yeah.
No. He's going nowhere. We are going nowhere.
Well, we're going somewhere. It's just not a good direction. I think.
We're like partially back to status quo. Censorship's probably going to go up some more. Actually, definitely will go up some more.
It already has.
And there's going to be like a thing for safety.
They took Trump off Twitter.
What?
You didn't know about that?
No.
Angel, where have you been?
I really avoid this shit.
I know.
Man.
I'm
just like, oh wow, that just sounds so. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna pretend not to be here. Yeah. Pretend I don't live in that world real quick.
I had to stop watching the news because I was like, this is so stupid.
It's terrible. It's not good.
It's not great.
It's bad.
But yeah, they banned him while he was still president. It was like, I want to say it might have been the day of.
I heard about that. Yeah, I think it was like towards like the very like.
I think it was when they stormed Capitol Hill. I think they yanked him off. But still, to pull the president off of the platform is a little ridiculous.
Did you see him on the platform?
Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. It would be funnier if it wasn't our president.
This is why we're a joke. This is why like, U.S. is looking a little. Yikes.
My fear, if you really want to get into it, this is what worries me. Okay? Prepare to be canceled.
I mean, I kind of signed up for that. Kidding. Like,
my fear is what's going on in China with the censorship there, which has been everlasting, with what they're doing with the minority Muslim population. And I think that people forget that, like, nations don't always stick around forever. Like, there have been a lot of civilizations that no longer are around when
Yeah.
shit hits the fan.
We were kind of like, we got to where we are from a lot of like conquering shit and like wars and whatnot. And US is like, is war.
Oh yeah,
We're
we're good
always
at
in
it.
something on the DL. It just depends on whether it's going to be in the media or not. But we're always doing something. We like the US sticks their dick in everything. That's the whole point. Sorry.
Oh,
They stick
that
their
was
weapons in
good.
everything. They stick
The U.S. is not afraid to send a dick pic, is what we're getting at.
Yeah, exactly. In the form of like troops just chilling somewhere because like we're chilling there. Or like, hey, we're gonna totally destabilize. Oh fuck, we're gonna get canceled. But like this will be the cancel moment. We're just gonna destabilize entire governments elsewhere so we can gain some oil or whatever. And then make some extra money off of like the war helping that we're gonna go ahead and fund and everything else too. And like we're just gonna give these people some great arms and it's gonna be great. And we're just gonna get rid of all that and be a fun time. U.S. just loves getting shit, and they love war.
We've done a lot.
Because that's how we get our money.
We've done a lot.
We do the best in, like, war times.
But I still feel like maybe this is like a selfish way of looking at it because we're in the U.S. and that's
we're just here.
yeah. But I feel like in terms of like world powers, I feel like we're kind of like the most conscientious on some level. Like, could you imagine if China was in our position and China had the military we had and was just swinging their dick wherever they wanted? I mean, maybe I'm off basis with that.
I don't know. I think I see like the U.S. more of like that. How do I word
the bad guy?
No, not like. They're not the bad guy necessarily, because there's a lot of like different things you have to factor. There's bad things, there's bad aspects for sure, but that's everywhere.
Yeah, we're not perfect.
No, we're far from perfect. And in fact, like the big reason of having the fucking wartime bullshit always like somewhere, something, we're gonna be somewhere. A big factor of that is that that's what we have to offer. We were made off that. Like we were made mostly like that's how we got our money, our funding, etc. It's hard to get away from on some level. Absolutely, it makes things a lot easier. Stay in power that route. We are looked at as like, we'll nuke your shit. Don't touch like with all the Pearl Harbor jokes and everything. Where there's like, dude, like. They're like these really bad memes.
I haven't seen them.
Bad.
Oh man.
They're memes and they're just like they're more or less.
Don't fuck with us.
Yeah, it's always about like Pearl Harbor. It's like this like they're like, hey, like I like help, like go to like Russia or something. Like I was like yeah, like help, like wait, what'd you do? And they're like, so we bombed Pearl Harbor, and they're just like. They're like, dude, done. Like, everyone's like evaporates. Like, nope, God, bye. Like, you're on your own. Like, it sucks. So you did what? Like, you pissed off who? And there's just so many different versions of the meme. It's just
man.
More or less, you don't fuck like on that level with America. You don't attempt to go toe to toe with arms because that's how all those like great movies are like nuclear times happen, basically nuclear warfare, and then everything's just like apocalyptic afterwards. I just feel like that's a thing. Like that would definitely be a thing eventually.
It could happen.
But
it's not outside the realm of possibility.
More often than not, though, everything's going to be settled way more on the DL. Like, way more on the DL. There's this really cool game. You should check it out. PC. It's called Civ. Like Civilization. It's like the one I've been playing is like Civ 5.
Not Sid Meier's Civilization.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I fuck with that game.
Okay. It's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Well, great thing. Putting like
I'm gonna be real. I always build up nukes and just start bombing people.
Dude, I don't build up like nukes. Okay, I do. It's always like you have to be like a great trader, and you have to have like a solid army. And it's great if you're like on like you need to get like at least one city right off the bat near water because you gotta be fucking like you need to have solid transport ASAP. Like get it. It is, and you have to have the good goods. I know you always have to have goods. It's a whole thing. But like I was always think about like you send in your spies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You keep your people living in their capital. You do that. You send them out. You have, and we literally have, oh yeah, we're stationed, X place, Y place, etc. We literally have people actually, physically, real life, sitting in all these different places, and they are trained to kill some people. It's a thing. It's always it's part of their training and everything. The reason I think, honestly, that we avoid a lot of big nuclear crap is this shit gets handled before it gets there. There's a lot of things happening that U.S. citizens will never see.
Oh yeah.
Ever.
There
is so much
That's not
shit.
even
They
a conspiracy.
have no idea. And I don't think people want to know. I think they rather just sit there and think that, oh yeah, we have no war, we have no this, we have nothing, it's whatever, we're good. And they don't even realize how much we will go and we will actively destabilize a government if needed to get oil or to get more money or to go be able to station us in there. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go help them. How'd they end up in that spot? Don't fucking ask. Don't ask. It's not what you want to hear. And then if someone does say it, it's they're canceled on the government level, where it's you need to.
It's hard.
Yeah, you cannot be yeah.
It's hard because we've done a lot of fucked up shit, but I feel like we have done a lot of good too.
We're just a nation trying to live, yo.
Yeah,
on its own
that's
level.
a great way to put it.
Yeah, there's gonna be some really negative things, absolutely. And one of the things I think Civ is really good about pointing out is fucking religion, right? You don't think on an everyday basis, people don't realize how fundamental it is to have something that everyone connects with on a level, and how important that is, and how easy it is to destabilize a place because they don't have such connecting things. And one of the harder things when it comes to the U.S. is at one point we had the American dream. We had that, and they preached Christianity and everything a bit too hard, but they had, at the very least, they had the American dream. You work hard, you get your house, picket fence, have your kids, whatever you want. You could you can go out of your way to go start a business, etc. Live your life, awesome. It's gotten to the point where that dream has been so shat on and fractured, and people are just pointing out their differences to the extent where they're just there's no melding, there's no it's a fucking shit show. It's a bit of a shit show, to the point where we're kind of a nation that's a bit more unstable on some fronts when it comes to that, because we don't have very good uniting factors. If anything, social media, which is actually, there's a whole thing. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because that's a whole full-on conspiracy.
Oh, we're gonna have to go down it.
Oh, okay, fine. TLDR. Rabbit hole is more or less outside government utilizing actually this has been proven on so many different things.
I feel like you're gonna say that they've done disinformation campaigns on social media to influence us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's not even a rabbit hole.
Good. As long as no one freaks out. Okay, good.
No, that's
good.
real.
Well,
I was gonna say that. Actually,
okay,
I was waiting. Yeah. No,
perfect.
that's legit.
That's a legit thing. One of the best things for that is to literally have your citizens fighting within amongst each other over shit that matters but doesn't matter on the nation level, what you should really be focusing on, etc.
Race, sex, what bathroom you can use, 99% of the problems we're dealing with right now.
It's social fucking politics, and that's how people get to be president, is social politics. That's what people focus on every election, not, hey, what the fuck are you gonna do about this shit over here? Are you gonna jump in that more? Are we gonna get more oil from here? Are we gonna do this for trading? Are you gonna do this tariff? What's going on? They don't look at any of that, but they should be looking at that, because that's the real issue. That's the real shit. How do you actually live as a nation? How do you actually get funding? How do you actually prosper, go forward, etc.? Dude, if you fucking play the game, your happiness drops, you're fucked. You know what your happiness to drop with that game? Are you kidding me? Your citizens' happiness drops? Oh my gosh, you better go get it whatever it needs real quick. Half the time, religion is that important thing. It's a uniting factor. It's what they.
We don't have a lot of uniting factors.
We don't. No, and it would be fine if we actually just went, oh shit, we're a fuck ton of different people, different everything. That's dope. Live your life. Bye. But we've touched on that for 2 seconds. They were oh yeah, live your life, etc. Go, awesome. And then they jump straight to the way you're living your life is like fucking with mine, dude. Like, how dare you say this shit? Or how dare you, like, eat fucking pork? It's a bullshit.
See,
Or, like,
that's
how dare
what
you do
worries
blank? You know,
me.
like, they go so far. Like, it goes way past, like, it goes past where it should. It should just be genuinely, like, a live and let live, correct as needed, and, like, actually, like, do the mixing pot thing properly. Because we're a fucking mixing pot. Do it. But if you're going to go out of your way to try and just push people into like little PC boxes to fit like the more obscure things that you can pop out that really don't make sense for like most of the places, because we're a lot of like US is a lot of rural. Like there's a lot of rural area.
Yeah, it's not LA,
mostly,
it's not New York.
Yeah, the fact that those huge places and large cities really sit there and control like everything more than they should.
They have like a god complex
Dude,
about it.
it's insane. They're
Yeah.
like, no, we're right. We know what's up. We got this.
Yeah.
Like, we're correct, etc. It's like, you have no fucking clue what you're doing. You have no clue what you're doing to anybody else. You just know what you're doing to your area, to your people, because your experience. And you can only know what's happening through your own experience. You only know what you've seen, you've experienced, you've been told, etc. You're never going to understand. Like, we're having this conversation right now. How you're going to view this conversation later, your thoughts on it, your feelings, etc. Like the exact words that were even said, they're all going to be remembered differently.
Oh, yeah.
Every single part of it. It's going to be like there's like literally there's two different worlds happening right now. Same space. Always. And the fact that they take a place that has a fuck ton of people with one like really like very like specific world type, and they're the ones that decide things for everyone else. That's why even Humboldt County, like, were we part of like the Jefferson State thing?
Oh, God.
Dude, were we a part of that? Like, wasn't that like that was a thing? Like to separate out.
That was a thing.
Because all the bills and everything else, all the funding goes to the bigger cities. We get gypped. Like we get nothing. They don't get our money. Like we don't get the money. We don't get to keep our water half the time. We don't get to do like any of those things. All the money goes elsewhere. Funding is elsewhere. We have to like get our own. And we lose our water on top of it. Like, even like the things that we do have. And that's like, why would you want to sit there and the mindset is like you're paying for somebody else to get all the things that you were promised. And that's kind of what it becomes. And it's great. Like if you like live there and you actually like are experiencing it, and they have some great programs that actually get kids from like high school and then right after they can go and they can, it's like years ago, but like there's like different things where you could go to school like right off the bat afterwards, where they actually like pay to put you in like different like programs, like actually learn different jobs, like film if you're fucking in LA, because it's fucking LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. But they'll set you up like in Powers area. It doesn't matter. They'll do it to some extent. Like they'll help like get all that going. Versus you're up here. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Go to CR.
That superiority complex is a real problem that they have in the cities. And I feel like I've kind of preached this a lot, but I feel like that stems from universities and from colleges. Like I feel like these kids, it is being ingrained in them at like a fundamental level that they are here to save the less educated people. That they know better because they went and they got an education, that they sat in class for 4 years, so now they know more. So don't question them. They're going to do what's right, and you just need to trust them because they know better. They went to school. You have a job. You don't know anything. You need to listen to them because they know. They know how to run government. They know how to focus people and get them assimilated to getting the vaccine or to doing this or to doing that. They know because they're smarter. But it's a real thing. I said that like it's a joke. But it is a real.
There's a heavy side there
because like real problem.
There's like night and day difference. If you work in like the mental health field, there was like a night and day difference, and this is like for every field, but this is like one of the ones that instantly cued my brain. We would see like these, young, like fresh blood people, man. They're right out of school. They got their bachelor's degree. They know what's up. They say that, the DSM-5, they got it down, etc.
Can you say what the DSM-5 is for people that don't know?
book on different like diagnoses, basically. For mental health. I didn't fucking read it, okay? like, I don't know everything that's, I just recall it's like, basically just reviews.
It's got all the information, all the symptoms, everything kind of broken down, right?
For the most part. It's going to give you, like, your main, like, diagnoses and, like, how they're actually written. Like, I know there was, like, an update, like bipolar disorder being called, like, manic depression, etc. It's the book. It's, like, it's where you go for your diagnoses, basically. A lot of times. They're going to pull it straight out of, like, these are what you're experiencing. It's these 5, etc. That's that book. It's got that shit. Awesome, cool. And then people like, myself or like people who've just been working in those fields for like eons and, you see shit and you have to just, you just deal with it. You learn how to crisis communicate just because maybe, you dealt with it like in real life. Like maybe you had like a friend, like you had friends that were in like they were in a certain way, or like you went through all the shit that like your clients are going through, like maybe had like similar family environments. It doesn't even matter. Or you literally just had like the best family environment ever and you had no friends with any issues. You didn't have any issues, but you still like end up deciding to go work at this job and you somehow like you're just talking to them and you just you figured it out. You figured out you're seeing real world, like you are doing on job training and you're just doing it and you got it. And then they're like those people and they sit there and they're there for like they're usually there for fucking way longer a lot of times, depending on like which position you're in, but they stay in like a lot of those positions for a long time. And you'd see like these people come out with like these degrees and they're like, there's just this level of like hope and like just naivety. Like they're so naive, like in the moment where they're like, oh yeah, I just have to say these things and it's going to work. I'm going to say these things. It's going to calm down. Oh, we're going to do this. And they're totally going to listen to me. It's going to work, etc. This person's having a fucking freak out. Like they're having a mental, like they're literally going through an anxiety attack. They're having a fucking time. They don't know you. You're brand new. You're coming at them with shit by the book. They already don't want to be there. You know how embarrassing it is to get, like, you're like, you got stuck in this place to begin with. You lost your shit to be in that spot. Like, and you're going to come at them with textbook, like, and like robotic, man. Just like this. And the amount of times, like, and it changed. Like, a lot of them would like usually break out of that real quick, or the best ones are ones that already like worked there and then they got the degree. But the ones that like when you see them, the fresh, just walk in, just like, I know how to do this.
Well, they don't know how the world works. Is the problem, but they think
they know
they do.
How it's written in books. They know it's written in a book to be done this way. They know, by the book blank. The book gets thrown out the window in real life. Like you get by the book, and by the book is your guidelines and your little tools, and they help you get to wherever spot you need to be for sure. But in real life, you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to learn. You have to figure out. You're gonna have to think.
You're gonna have to think your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Not ones that have been reinforced in you.
Yeah. You're not going to regurgitate the shit you were told. You're going to actually have to act and move and be your own person. And it gets you like a lot farther in a lot of places. None of the jobs I have worked, I've actually had any education for. There was one that was like, okay, cell phones, obviously no education. Learn that shit then. Whatever. Mental health, no education. Just the training that they get, that you get, which you do get actual training, like legitimate, like there is some. Still, some of it's gonna be thrown out the window anyway. But there's training, and then like what was it? I had another job that was billing, basically. And authorizations and like all this insurance stuff and everything, and like collections and like the whole nine. Like I was literally like accounts receivable, like and like authorizations, all that, like. I got like a little bit of training. The person wanted to leave so bad. They were like, I'm done. I'm retiring. Deuces.
Trying to get out.
Yeah. Like watch them fall asleep in the meetings. And I'm like, okay. Well, they were done. They were done. They had tried to go like a few times, but like their people kept like bailing.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, hey, yeah, you can try this one. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I went in and I had no fucking, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and go into it, but like more or less, by the end of the time that I was there, a lot of the things I learned, I learned because I had to go fucking, I had to find out, or I learned from like, I was supposed to be doing what? Like the moment we were like, what are you talking? That's a thing. What? That's a thing. We didn't have that come up at all during that 1 week. Okay. You're like, oh shit. All right, cool. I'll figure. Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. And you learn things like that a lot of the time. And it's fine. It works. I left for totally different reasons. Or like the job I have currently, the training was literally like a couple days. Like this person was out of, they were out like, what was it? They were leaving. They had a couple weeks left, right? And another like coworker was out for like a couple days. Like, and so like we covered that spot. So I kind of learned like a little bit of that. And then she shows me like, the actual job that I'm supposed to do. Shows me a couple of them, like does a couple does a couple of the calls, does a couple of like authorization things, like whatever, like does a couple of things, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. And she's like, all right, you go. And I'm like, okay, thanks. It's like I take over, and then like I'm all like gun ho like the next day, like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna be working with her on, and then I'm just left with the stuff, and I'm like, what?
Figure it out.
And she's like, no, she's like, you got it. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you got it. Trust me, like you got it. Like don't like, you got this. And she was there for like another week or so. And like she would do like partial days, and she like cover some other things even, and I'm just like, I'd be like, hey, and I was like, what's up with? And that she was just this level of like, no, like you'll take care of it. Like I'm sure you'll figure it out. Like, and I mean she wasn't wrong, but it was just like one of those like, oh shit. And just the amount of things where I'm just like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do what?
You gotta learn on the spot.
Yeah, learn on the spot. We had another person that was out of work, and we had like a binder. They just had like just a basic how-tos for their job. Like, hey, you fill in this, you do this. Like this comes in, you do that, etc. Boom. They were out. They realized, okay, maybe we don't actually have somebody covering this all the way. Okay, we're gonna kind of split like this, and like they're like figuring out like how it was gonna like get covered and whatnot. Because there's someone who like does on the fly like if needed. So I grabbed the fucking binder, and I fucking just read the binder. And then, like, I grabbed, like, an example thing, and I was just like, hey, and, like, and I just did, and I did the thing, like, I checked in that I was done right, etc. And I was just like, okay, cool. And I just fucking know how to do the things now. And now I'm seeing some come in, because, like, the person's, like, gone at the moment, and I'm, like, helping, like, fix them and get them in there. But it's, like, it's one of those things, you learn half that shit on your own. You're not going to learn a job out of a textbook. You're not going to learn it out of getting a degree half the time.
That's what they don't understand, though.
They think it's going to get you prepped, but you have to know. Like, it helps. It helps a lot. Because there's certain things, like, in the medical field where you're really going to want to know how something works. Like, you're going to want to know, like, the differences between, like, veins and arteries and, like, all the different valves and all the different, like, all those things. You're going to want to learn so many of the different things, like, between, like, different things like swelling versus inflammation. The fuck's the difference between swelling and inflammation?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor.
Right? It's like who fucking knows? Right? I was like, wait, what? They're like, they're so different. They're like, no, they're different. Like, there's like the diagnoses codes for them and everything. They're different.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you're just like, what the fuck? But like those things, like you get to learn in school. Like a lot of that stuff, like you get to take and you have like this base knowledge to then be able to go like learn something more. And I think that's like on the job. And I feel like I fucking hate that I don't have a degree right now.
Why?
Dude, I'm like 23, no degree.
I was going to say 24. I'm 23, no degree.
Yeah. it's same ballpark. Just not quite there yet. But you're in school.
Yes.
Yes.
Online university, baby.
What's up? See, there you go. I have like nothing. I got nothing on my belt right now.
Yeah, but
like jack shit.
If I could, I would drop out. Like, I don't think.
What does that mean? If I could?
Well, but personally, I brought it up to my parents. I was like, listen, I want to drop out. Like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. They didn't understand because they're from a different generation. And so they obviously don't support that decision, which makes sense.
Fuck no.
But what was the question? Where was I going with that?
If you could.
Oh, if I could.
Yeah. Like the whole was this like if you can.
Because I feel like I owe, they're my parents. They've done so much for me. I feel like I owe them. And so if this is the thing that I owe them, then I can suck it up and finish it and get it for them. But I will never use it.
What's it for again? Sorry.
No, don't apologize. We haven't talked in like 6 years?
Like 2016?
Yeah,
basically, yeah, more or less.
It is. I'm majoring in computer science and cognitive science.
Oh, shit.
It's been a minute since I said that. I had to think about that for a second.
Dude. Okay.
But you don't. It's all bullshit. That's what.
Looks good though.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
A computer science degree it's a nice piece of paper for sure.
But that's all it is a piece of paper. Like someone just decided, okay, you get you buy it. That's how I like that. I'm kind of jaded on higher education in a lot of ways because it's not what I thought it was. Like I thought it was you're gonna learn and you're paying these people to teach you to disseminate this information, which 90% of it you could just learn online and not pay any money.
You are a lot of times.
Well, I am right now for sure. Yeah. Like it's all online. But like it's a junk. Like I don't want to be that guy for people that are thinking about going to college, but like if I could do it over, I would not go to school.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I would probably take a similar route to the one I took, where I like went into just workforce. I was actually in school, but my car. Fuck yeah, I was in school when I was in the work. Okay, I had started working and was in school, and then my car was totaled.
Is that why you got out of school?
Yeah. Yeah, my car was totaled, and then I got rides to work, but I didn't get rides to school. And then I got a new car. And then, yeah, some just other life events a couple times after that, but yeah. We're going to try to go back again. It'd be great.
You want to go back?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so for me, you go, you work, you find out what you like. Don't just stay in one job because it's your family. Just go find something that you actually enjoy, like or something, at the very least something that interests you. So yeah, just something that fucking interests you, that like makes you like you're excited about it, and a job that actually like you get to learn things from. That's exciting. You get to learn like how things work, whatever it is, like you get so like stoked, and you'll go on a fucking full tangent about like find something like that, like just anything like where you experience at least a little bit of it, and find out what you can do with that. Like what could you do where if you like focused on that in some way, you could then go and you could actually work in that field further and make bank. Because that's what you really are doing. You're paying money in to actually make more money every year. Because it allows you to move up a lot faster into those places that you want to go. Like right now, I couldn't go like be like a bioengineer or anything, like biomedical engineering. I can't go jump into that without a fucking degree. I can't jump into a lot of things without a degree. They don't even want to take you for a lot of like the business things and like billing and so on and so forth if you don't have some sort of degree. And a lot of those degrees are fucking fairly jokish as well. And it's just shit that you learn on the fly anyway. But if you can wiggle your way into one of those positions, you're not going to make as much still, number one. And then number two, you're kind of stuck. You can't really, like, it's going to be hard to maneuver elsewhere, not as quickly. Like, you'll be right there, but you have to stay right there. You have to stay there for a hot minute because you have to show that you actually understand that information and, like, have that experience that's going to then comp out having a degree, which is at least 4 years. Like, a lot of times it ended up being, like, another fucking 4 years. For you to get something that's, like, just a branch away, similar enough, but actually what you want to do, that would actually pay better, but still not going to pay as much as somebody who had a degree.
Yeah, see, that's where it's a double-edged sword,
it's
right?
Stupid.
It's definitely
it's really stupid.
My problem. You're completely right. It gets your foot in a lot of doors that would otherwise be closed.
Yeah.
And it looks great on paper. Any degree looks great on paper. But my problem is.
Not any.
Yeah, that's true. If you major in like interpretive dance, I don't know how far you're gonna get with that one.
Not
Sorry
very.
to say, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Dance teacher.
Yeah, there you go.
It might help.
There's some spots for that.
I'm not gonna be making bank with that, but my problem is it's not what it should be. I think that's what I struggle with. Like it's not. Yeah. They're not trying to. It's not about teaching you. It's a for-profit business. You're going there. You're paying to get this. It's not like K through 12 where they're teaching you. Whether you want to learn it or not, they're going to do their best to teach you. Yeah. It's you are paying for a piece of paper that says, hey, You jump through all the hoops, you get this piece of paper.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's my favorite thing about it was the social life. And I didn't really fully grasp that until it went online. Like that was what really kept me in school, was the social aspect of, yeah, you have to go suck it up and sit through class, but then you can go party and hang out with your friends as soon as you're out. Like you just got to put in however many hours you have and then you're done. But it's not like, if you want to get a job, college is great. College is great. I don't think I want that though for me. Like I don't want to go sit at a desk writing code or do that. So that's where I think college is great for some people and I think it's bad for some people. I think it depends on who you are and what you want from life.
I think it's a tool.
It can be.
It should only be looked at as a tool. It should only be looked at to like help you get like whatever extra thing that you need.
Listen, education is a tool.
Yeah.
College tries to latch on to that.
All right.
My problem is not with education. I think you can learn way more outside of school than you ever could in school. Like if you want to learn something, it's online. You can learn it for free. There's no excuse.
Dude, Google.
Yeah.
Everything
I've learned in my classes, you could learn 10 times better online and for free. Everything. There's not, at least for my majors, everything. It's online. That's what gets me. Is like, why are you paying for something that
it's just for the paper.
Yeah,
it's just for looks. It's all it is. It's genuinely just
I
to
have a real problem with the education system and how it's structured. Like that's one of my bigger gripes with what's going on. It's like we should be teaching people so that they can pursue what they want in life and get out of life what they want, but we're taking advantage of kids when they're young and signing them up for huge loans to go and do something they're probably not going to end up doing.
Dude,
and we've convinced them that in order to work any job, now you need this piece of paper, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it is. It's a requirement in some areas, which is dumb. Why would you need, if you're gonna go work and be a manager somewhere, why do you need just any degree? Which is what you do. You need some degree on paper to go do something. Yeah, preferably.
Like one that's actually in management.
Yeah.
Or in
but they
like
would
business,
take you, if you had a BS in biology, they'd be like, oh, that's fine. Which, how is that going to relate? Like, shit like that does not make sense.
It doesn't, no.
It shows, oh, this is just a joke. You just want someone that knows how to follow rules, and college is the perfect way to show that you did that. I feel very nihilistic right now about how I'm talking about college.
Sorry,
my bad. I didn't mean to shit.
I
don't want to shit all over it because it is great and it can be great.
But it's not
like
really.
anything. There's pros and cons to anything.
Yeah.
And I'm only probably, I mean, who knows what I would be saying if I didn't go to college. Maybe I'd be sitting here saying, "Oh, college, everyone should go to college." You know, it's all perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think you should go if you don't know what you're going for,
or
if you have like that basic, like I'm fresh out of high school, I totally want to go do blank. The fuck you do? Like, good luck.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure? Like, are you actually gonna want to do that in like a couple of years down the road? People switch their majors all the time. They waste thousands upon thousands of dollars because they have no idea what they really want.
Yeah,
they haven't worked in that field. They don't even know. Like you're going to go into something you have no idea about.
Yeah. Right out of high school.
Yeah. And you're going to
You can't even drink alcohol yet, but you're going to go and you're going to make a decision. Yeah, not legally.
Not legally. Right? You can do a lot of shit legally.
But you're going to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life.
It's a joke. And then you see people who... They played the game hard. But they're usually a lot older, and they have like 3 different degrees. At least one of them is like a bachelor's. You might even have a master's in there. Like they have at least 3 different degrees. Usually 2 out of 3 are like a minimum bachelor's degree. Like, yeah. And they played the fucking game. They went and they did like psychology shit. They went and did like nursing, etc., so on and so forth. And they just kind of like rotate through shit, and they find what they want to do, and they'll stay in something for a little while and they'll migrate. But that's not anywhere near as easy like these days to jump and go get a 4-year degree for.
It's hard.
I'm just gonna go do it. Like that shit costs more than a car, man.
It's harder than it should be.
It's really
especially
expensive.
with the power of the internet. Like this, you should be able to get any degree you want without having to take out a loan and still be able to work a full-time job and not
I'm
be
getting
stressed.
so many online schooling ads right now. Like, you have no idea. Like, this is
But
gonna hit me like
that's how
so
it should
hard.
be. Like, that's how you
It's
want to
like,
really lift up everybody in the country. You give them the option to go, and you don't make it so that it's going to cost them the next 30 years to dig out the debt.
Minimum.
Yeah.
The interest rates on there is probably more than 30 years.
It's criminal when you look at
Yeah.
it. That kids that are 17 and 18 are making these decisions. It's
They really, like, you shouldn't.
it doesn't
really
make
shouldn't.
sense. And how many people go to college, do all that, and then do drop out, and they still have all the debt, and they have nothing to show for it. And now
Oh, I
you're
mean,
just
they have thing probably collections to show for
Well,
it.
yeah.
But
true.
it's something. It's nothing good.
But they didn't even get the
Yeah.
degree.
No.
And then you're
They're
just out.
almost a blank. They're
Yeah.
almost this. They're almost that.
Yeah, but that doesn't look good on paper.
Fuck no.
Yeah. And now you're going to work for the next 20 years to pay off the debt for something you don't even have anymore. You didn't even get the shitty piece of paper.
Yeah. You didn't even get that little slip to get into class. Like, slip to get into your foot in that door right there.
Yeah,
That little
you
door stopper.
stopped
You don't even have
right in
the
the
door
doorway.
stopper. No, you didn't stop in the doorway. You stop like a foot back.
And you're
Because you
just
can't reach it
staring
yet.
at
Because you don't have you don't have a little like pass. Just go through it. You're stuck there. You just
Yeah.
stare at it and watch everybody else go through.
All right, so now that I shit on college a little bit, what do you want to go to school for? What do you want to do?
Oh God. That changes all the time.
Yeah.
That's never gonna be like one answer.
You should be able to do anything. You can't do anything.
Everybody can do. Well, not. I should not say that. Whew, back up. I was gonna say everybody can do anything, but that's not true.
You don't think that?
I've met people
That haven't done stuff? Oh.
that just really can't do
hey,
anything.
Oh, there are people like that.
There
That is
are definitely people that
fair.
like you have to like teach them how to read instructions. You know, like everyone on some level should be able to bake a cake. Like, even if you fuck it up on some way or another, like you don't mix it enough, you don't do this, you don't do that enough, right? Because it's baking a cake. You have the instructions. You buy, like, literally says get this much of these ingredients. It tells you what to get, and some even the good ones even tell you what kind. Like, oh, you should get. I actually have no. Oh God. Like, what's a brand of like butter or something? I can't believe it's not butter or some shit. I don't know. Whatever. Like, go for. They even tell you like which ones to get. Right? They'll go like good recipes will even like break it down on that level. And then you take it. You have the recipe. You have like all the things, and then you follow it. You do what it says. And then like maybe you didn't read far enough down, and like you might have like skipped something or whatever else. But you, in the end, it's not that big of a deal. You've made your cake. You may have like cooked it a little bit too long because it doesn't specify on there that the oven temperatures totally vary between ovens and things like that. But you've made like an edible cake. Like you've made it's gonna taste at least mostly like what it was supposed to. Like you did what you were supposed to. You could follow the instructions. Those people who could follow the instructions and make even just some form of edible, even if it's a bit burnt, because again, you can't really judge the oven and all that. Like and the pan's not perfect. They did it though. Like they were successful. Like on some level, it doesn't have to be fucking perfect. If you can't fucking bake a cake, like you can't do anything. You really can't. It seems really shitty, but like you can't follow instructions enough just to be able to kind of learn something, you're probably fucked. Because there's those rare people who like they don't need to like have the instructions to bake a cake, but they make even a better cake. Most people are not going to start out doing that. You kind of have to start somewhere, and the basic one is like just follow some instructions real quick, fuck up a little bit, but like enough that it's salvageable and continue on. And there's a lot of people who can't do that. What's that look? Like, what is that face? You're like, just like, there's a lot.
Wow, that was just such a deep analogy. I was just like, I was really going in with the baking the cake thing. I was like, I would have just said there's some people that just aren't very smart, and sometimes life just hits you with a bum deck of cards. But the cake thing was strong.
I think there's also the flip side of it, though. There's a flip side. So there's an entire world of people who can figure out how to bake cakes. And then there's an entire world of people who they somehow they pull something else out of their fucking ass, man. Even better. Like, they can't make a cake, but somehow they can, like, they'll do, like, crepes randomly or whatever else. And, you know, one side can definitely learn how to do anything. Like, most of them on there are probably going to be able to, they can do most shit. They can figure it out. Or at the very least, they can get, like, somewhere into each field. Guaranteed. The other side can, like, super skyrocket into any field. Or they can totally just be on this side step, like, other different things. And it really depends. There's also like this, because now we're gonna break down like creative versus like.
Well, yeah, you gotta just find what your passion is, right?
Yeah.
There's that saying that
it's just anybody can do anything. Thing is just too broad.
Yeah,
I think that's
no,
why.
it's like if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's gonna spend its whole life thinking it's retarded or it's dumb. I should not have just said retarded.
Oh, canceled.
I'm already getting.
Sorry, I apologize.
We could go in on that. I had a girl. I'm not gonna say her name or anything, but she reached out to me after one of the episodes. I said retarded, and she reached out to me and was like, "Hey," she was super nice about it. I totally respect where she was coming from. She said, "Hey, you know, I have," she said, "How did she say it?" She said, "Hey, you shouldn't say that." Mm-hmm. And I reached out and I was like, "Oh, hey, you know, I hope you know I didn't mean it in reference to anybody or anything. It was an idea that somebody said and it was dumb." And I said...
That was a word that was super common back when we were, like, growing up and wasn't, like, a negative connotation.
Yeah, it's still... Regardless, she said that, so then I sent that back to her and was like, hey, like, I hope... Like, we were... we know each other personally, and I was like, hey, you know, I hope you know that I would never use it in that context, and I didn't mean it in that way. And she was like, well, you know, I have a loved one who... has a mental handicap, and you know it's hard for people who have loved ones like that to hear that word. It affects us. You shouldn't say it. And I was like, you know, I was honest with her. I was like, you know, I'm gonna, like, I hope you know, I'm gonna keep reiterating that. I hope you know I didn't mean it in that way, but I don't know if I'm gonna just remove that word from my rhetoric. Like, I was struggling with censorship at the time. Like, I didn't want to censor myself on the podcast, you know? So I didn't want to just remove a word because someone said, hey, I don't like that word. Like, I was struggling with that as a person, you know? But I also don't want to say a word that's going to purposely just to piss people off. Like, I don't want to just...
You also have to train yourself to not say something that you're used to saying.
Yeah.
And, like, the fact that there's an instant, oh, shit, right after you say it.
Yeah.
There's an understanding that that's, like, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm just, like, bad, backtrack.
Yeah.
It's part of the learning
Yeah,
curve.
but there's levels, right? Because
like,
is that such a bad word? I mean... contextually, but it's not like it's a slippery slope, right? And I struggled with it. I didn't want to not say it because she told me not to say it, because then what, I'm going to censor myself. But I also didn't want to now it's just, you know, in my head. So every time I do say it, I'm like, oh fuck, you know what I mean?
I personally, like, okay, I try to avoid that word. It totally has slipped, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Like, I attempt to avoid that. I don't think that, you know, it's like it's a good one, etc. I can see how that's definitely like a heavy, like, there's like that negative, etc. because of where it comes from.
Yeah.
I not trying to make, you know, excuses for people, but going back to like the earlier conversation, I vividly remember growing up as a kid and like that being like the word for dumb.
Oh, it flew.
You didn't say dumb half the time. You didn't say, like, saying dumb was dumb.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, wow, you're gonna use dumb. Like, are you, you know, it was such like a what the heck.
Yeah.
That was like the consideration for it. And it's like, you're taking people who grew up in a certain time frame. You know, they grew up with whatever. And it's like, it's so like, it's hardly there, like, in verbiage. Like, it's not really used at this point, but there's slips, you know? They're like things just like they come out, and because there's something from the time frame that's like, that's where they, you know, where they kind of grew with it. That's where they were. Like, it wasn't a negative thing growing up, and then it has become one, and then you have to sit there and you're kind of like, and it's a slippery slope because there's a lot of things that it really depends on like context and who you're talking to, and there's a lot of people who are like, it's totally fine. People, you know, and other people who are like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, read the room. And in some level, there's like a hate for having to read the room. And
See,
on
that's
some
where
level,
try to push back. It's like,
that's where it comes
why
from.
are
Yeah,
we
that's where there's
canceling
that
words?
yeah.
But it's hard, right?
Yeah.
Because then you get to like the
There's-
N word, and it's like, oh, nobody should be saying that.
And nobody should be saying that for a lot longer.
But we
Like-
recognize that words change, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the meaning behind the words change. Like you could say,
So
"Oh, that's
much.
fire now," and that means, "Oh, that's cool," right? We recognize that words change. So what if that word has changed? Does that give it more of an ability to be used, or do we still not use it? Because when I say that word, I don't think
I'm
of
not
any
talking
person.
about,
Yeah, I think
like,
of something that's dumb, like a dumb idea.
and like it that was created through a negative kind of way. Like, it was created like, them like say like they were equating it at one point, like people being
Oh yeah, they used to call
that's literally
people
that's the whole point. Like,
but it
was
didn't used to
taken,
be a bad word. It just that's how they
it was
refer
just
to
a
those
label,
people.
and then it got turned into something else. And I feel like at a lot of times, like it has really migrated to just being a different word. Like, depending on honestly where you are, context, who you're talking to, etc. Some people are going to view it as it's dumb, and other people are going to view it as like,
Whoa,
dude, what the fuck? Like, what are you saying? And it really depends. And there's a lot of things like that. Oh god, like I know somebody who like will make because I ramble like hardcore, right? It can be called, like, I've had it called before, like autistic rambling, just like going like a full spurt, and like
now
all
you're
of
gonna
that,
get canceled.
That's gonna get me canceled.
Oh man,
because
we made it this whole time, and you were good, and now
but I'm gonna elaborate. This is totally gonna get
it was nice knowing you, Angel. I'm sorry I had to come to
they've
this.
like called that, like that's been something that was said to me before in the past, and knowing that person, I know they're not coming from like a place of like there's
It's
no
not
like
malicious.
there's no malicious intent towards people who actually have autism or are on the spectrum in some way. And quite frankly, it's a spectrum, so a lot of people do land further into it than you would realize. Women especially, actually, because they don't show it the same way that like men do. There's like a whole thing there.
I heard that was because back in the day they only focused on men that exhibited it, so all the tests and stuff were biased towards men. Is that true?
I need to look into it more, but I would bet money that's where that's going for, because just thinking like in general, the amount of focus towards men, because back in the day, the doctors and the scientists and everybody else who, like, a lot of people who were able to get those degrees more frequently or allowed to pursue that and that actually be a career that they were able to, it was supported, etc., acceptable socially, and the whole nine, were men. And quite frankly, if you're a man and you're looking into, X, Y, like you're looking into something, you're probably going to focus more on your focus group.
Yeah.
There was studies of, oh God, were they coming out of like porn?
Wait, my bad. I didn't mean to take you off topic of the autistic rambling. Where was that going?
Okay, sorry. That was just going into literally that was the main thing, was like they say this, right? They say that, or have said that, I guess, in the past. When dealing with my rambles.
Mm-hmm.
And at no point were they ever trying to be malicious. Like, at no point is that like a shit on them, so on and so forth.
It wasn't trying to hurt. Yeah.
Never. They they have people that they love that even they're near there. They're there. They're whatever. That's not the point. They're not really like in at any point. Even if I told this person, dude, that's fucked, they would just be sitting there and they would fully acknowledge, like, that's not the context and it. Because I've said that's not the context and it. And that's a huge thing people don't really grasp, is you're gonna sit there and you can throw something back, and there's certain things that they're trying, that they're squashing out for whatever reason, some of them good, some of them bad. And one of the key things to always recall is, like, that's not the context, and you gotta be aware of that. Like, this word may have some sort of can have this negative attachment, but you're aware that's not the context for it at all. And anyway, and it's one of those huge things to hold. It's like where you're at with it. And he would totally be canceled 100%, because he would say that shit just on the fly, ready to go, done. In their defense, man, I am pretty there's more backstory there, actually. I took a couple of those tests, and that's how, like, what the joke was, like, made. It's, like an online test, and I'm like, you can fuck right on off, because I tested, like, high on a thing.
Damn.
Sorry, there was more backstory I forgot about, actually, because I was, like, rambling, and then, you know what? That's where the ramble thing came from. So even worse, it was an online thing. So not real, at all.
Yeah.
At all. Totally, there is no stock in that information.
Damn.
Like, maybe, I have no idea. Actually, I haven't taken one of those tests for reals, but yeah, so I totally got called out. Like,
yeah, context is important.
It's
right?
huge. Look at that. I forgot to mention the story about taking that test, and that does influence that a lot. Because it's important. It's like where everything comes from is important.
Yeah.
The fuck made a great example. There we go. Don't mention that. Just talk about just talk about the rambling portion. Forget to mention this person has backstory information in regards to I think because they took the test also. Like a bunch of people did. Like I found it online. Cause like I was rambling, and like there was a discussion. Like someone was talking about like whatever, and I'm like, that is totally not a symptom of, like, that's not like a behavior that's exhibited. I'm like, no, and then like just like a whole group of people took it.
Oh shit!
And I totally scored the highest.
Oh shit! Everybody just starts going in.
Yeah. That's important context. You should probably plug that. It's just an online.
It's important to have friends that fuck with you a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the key to happiness. Yeah.
Oh god.
Kudos to that girl though.
Yeah.
She got me, because I do. Regardless of how I feel about the word and the context, she definitely has put it on my radar where now I don't say it. Just like on a subconscious level. Yeah. Which isn't bad. Again, it's not bad in that sense. Like I could do with or without that word. I just didn't want to slip into, okay, now I'm listening to what everybody's saying because I had people say, oh, you shouldn't cuss on your podcast, like stuff like that. And it's like, that's not
kind of your podcast.
Yeah, that's not what I want. I want this. If I'm going to say something, like I want to be able to say it. Especially self-moderation. Like I don't want that shit at all.
Mess with your mic a lot.
I know.
Okay, I keep watching it. Like I have no idea. I can't
I've done
see
it
this,
so much.
I've been keep watching it.
I just did it again.
I assume it's a thing, but I don't know what it is.
It's not a thing. I noticed it in the last video. This is a new mic.
Okay.
And it's fucking with me, because I used to use I just had these two mics, so I would use that. I wouldn't touch it at all. But now with this thing, I'm
like, where's it gonna be at? Like, where's?
Yeah, I noticed it in the last video. I was like, oh man, I need to make a note mentally to not fuck with the mic.
Should I call you out sooner?
Yeah, that would have been appreciated. But it's all right. It's all right.
I apologize. Like I thought it was like a thing.
Literally, as soon as you said that, I was like, "Oh fuck, I've been doing that this whole podcast." It's gonna be in the video again, where I'm just like,
Yeah.
Well, because it's
right there.
It's positioned in a
really
weird
in your face.
Yeah.
I just try to block out the fact there's a circle in my face.
I haven't quite figured out where I want it. Maybe that would be better.
At first I thought it was like just trying to make sure like the voice was like getting heard properly.
No, I've just been fucking with it.
No, you're just fucking with it. Okay, like I was literally like self-conscious. A couple times like I moved closer because of it. I'm like, am I not talking into the mic enough?
Yeah, no, I've just been fucking with it.
Okay, all right. I should have asked. My bad.
Oh shit.
I thought about it too. Like I've literally moved closer to this thing because of that. Because I was like, oh fuck, is that like? My bad.
That's gonna get me now when I'm editing this. I'm gonna be like, oh, I did it again.
Every time.
It's gonna cut to me just moving the mic. Oh shit.
We're gonna loop way far back. So why did you message me for this? I got what was the context?
Okay.
Like, how did
if we're gonna
this
go
come
in, can I gotta go to the bathroom or I'm gonna pee my pants. So we gotta just take like 30 seconds. Time out.
Go.
What do you want?
You can tell me, why did you hit me up, Nick? Let's go.
Okay, let's go in.
Go.
Good memory. That was way back in the podcast.
I'm so fucking curious. Are you kidding me? I almost stopped at what I gotta find out why though, because I'm like I don't know like literally obviously the last time I talked to this person was years ago.
Yeah. I saw that you didn't post a lot online, and I figured if there was one person I could get canceled, it might be you. So I figured we had to just make something. No, I'm just kidding.
Holy shit.
Honestly, one of the beautiful things about this podcast is. You get to talk with someone and you get to connect with them, and there's magic that happens on the podcast, right? And I didn't realize when I went away, I kind of put Eureka on the back burner when I left, and I didn't realize how many friends and how much life kind of just got swept. You don't see it in the moment. You know what I mean?
No.
And then you wake up one day and you're like, holy shit, what just happened? Where is everybody? And so I reached out. I was like, I want to talk to Angel. I want to talk to you. And years.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you in years. I haven't been in Eureka for this long in years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, I want to talk to Angel. I've done that with a few people. I've reached out and been like, man, I just want to talk to you. Like, I haven't seen you. I don't know what you're doing in life. Like, I just want to talk.
It's a great news. We're gonna get on camera, and and we're gonna plug it into a show, and it's gonna be great.
Everybody's gonna watch it. Yeah.
No, not everybody.
3 people. 2 of them are my mom, but
a couple of those views are me like watching things, like trying to
catch
start
a
a couple times.
clip.
I'm sorry. Like I was just like, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
But yeah, I missed you, man. I haven't talked to you. I just wanted to reach out and see what was up.
Fake no.
All right, podcast is over. We're done.
Done. Call it night.
It's been great.
Done.
Angel, I'll talk to you in another 5 years. It's been great.
No.
I think part of that is COVID, too. I think COVID, at least for me personally, like it's
COVID
made
gives me an excuse, man.
It does.
I was already like terrible at reaching out.
That's my big, I suck. Like, I don't respond to text. If you don't call me, you might not talk to me for months.
You have to like text me and then like do a follow up and then I'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then I'll go do something. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like,
I don't like texting. Like if we're not like, I can do phone calls. I can kind of do FaceTime, but like I don't like doing, like I would rather sit and actually talk to you. You know what I mean?
Wow, that just sounds like so not. What 2020? Like it's not the current era.
Yeah.
Not current year.
I'm basically like an 80-year-old person.
Yeah.
Get me my newspaper.
Just like go actually call this person for me.
Yeah.
Actually like have like a number memorized. Do you have numbers memorized?
I have my number memorized. Which is not going to be helpful in an emergency, but
no.
Yeah, I have my number. I used to have a ton. Everybody's number I would have memorized.
I have my emergency contacts. I have those memorized. If I go to fill out paperwork at a doctor's office right now, I got them down. I don't need my phone.
Okay, I probably know my parents.
That's all my emergency contacts for sure.
Yeah,
it's always like I noticed this thing like when you work in the medical field, people have like emergency contacts for different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like when they're younger, you're usually gonna see like their parent on there, and then when they're older, it's usually like their kid or maybe their sibling and like whoever else, like maybe like a friend, partner, whatever. But it just kills me because it's always like it just depends on how old you are, like where you're at on the spectrum. If it's gonna be like the kid or if it's gonna be the parent or if it's gonna be like maybe it's the partner only.
I keep fucking with the mic now that you said that.
Oh, okay. Like that is you were already fucking with it. It was already happening.
I'm aware of it now that you said that. That's what I meant to say. Now we're done. It's perfectly positioned right there. Right there. I'm done.
just moves it right after.
It's a process. I still do it a little bit, but I used to say a lot. I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. How do you I would say that so much. I'm
ready to cringe. Like,
yeah, listening back to the episodes when I would put them together, I would hear that and be like,
oh, yes, you did. There was one where I was laughing.
You could make it a drinking game, and you'd be plastered 20 minutes in.
Oh my god, yes.
So bad.
It killed me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was great.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Not great, but it's all right.
No, I had a good chuckle about
It'll be a drinking game someday.
Dang.
But it's weird little things like that you don't, like little innuendos in your way of speech that you just don't think about.
No.
Because how often are you actually like listening to yourself talk?
Place or sound, place or word.
Yeah.
Like
happens.
saying like 10,000 times or saying well sometimes I'm like well.
I did it so much. It was so bad. It's
okay. I do it on
good
the
progress.
Phone. I'm like I see like there's like no noise when you're like on the phone with it whatever you're talking to for work. And just like there's like no noise because you're looking something up, and it's just like that awkward like that you have to like, make something
just to let them know you're still there.
Like I'm still here. There's times oh my god, I put people on hold most of the time so I can just look something up because it's gonna take too long of awkward silence, and like I know like you're gonna sit there and they're gonna be like, "You still there?" I'm like, yep, here, just looking for this thing. Like give me a second. Like I swear, I didn't hang up.
This is part of your new job.
Yeah, this is why I put people on hold. And this is why like those really quick holds, they're like something up.
People are going to piece together what you do.
They're absolutely probably going to do that if anybody cares and bothers to watch it. And I'm so going to get canceled. Dude.
You haven't said... I feel like if...
Oh, I've said like enough. I've said too much, but not enough all in one go. I vaguely...
I don't think so. Listen,
I've beat around the wrong bushes.
Listen, there's wild stuff has been said on this podcast, and nobody's gotten canceled yet.
But you're also like
pretty
low tier at this point.
True.
Like you're getting there. Like you're actually like interviewing people and like actually like going, God, there was I watched I didn't really watch it. I looked and I saw that there were I subscribed.
Saw the thumbnail.
I subscribed. I'm sorry. Like I tried. I was just like, dude, oh shit, like I was super stoked. I'm like, damn. I'm like, oh, my buddy started like he's doing these things, and I was like, I caught myself, and I was like, oh wait, I haven't seen this person in forever. I'm like, but he's doing these things. I'm gonna support it regardless, and I was all excited. I just like subscribed, and I just totally had no follow through whatsoever. But there's some interesting people. There's like a brewery person. There was someone like mayor or something like that. Yeah, there was all these. Yeah, like you're like actually people like in the community. That's cool.
You know, it's
getting there.
I'm always just amazed that anybody wants. Like I was when even reaching out to you. Like I'm amazed anybody wants to just do this. Because it
was a lot of curiosity. Like
how
why
weird is
though?
Oh. That was the
like
driving
why?
factor.
I'm like what? I was like sitting there. I'm like like I wonder what it is. Like did I get like was I brought up? I'm like who was on a show recently? Like what is going on? Like it was like
we were talking about you on the last episode.
I was brought up?
No,
I didn't think so. No. If anything, I would think I doubt that I would be brought up in an episode. I think if anything, a situation that I may or may not have been a part of could be brought up. I would definitely not be referenced, I'm sure. But like,
do you have a situation in mind?
I have none.
Huh.
Although I don't want to start thinking about
it.
I don't. Like I genuinely. There are a lot of things I gladly forget about, and a lot of them were from like at least 5 years. Yeah, like anything past like 5 years.
High school.
Like,
we did some wild shit in high school. There's so many things. Listen, that's why. Moral of the story. That's why I'm not worried. If they came for me, there would be so much to cancel me for.
You were like fairly like PC friendly even in high school though, like because you were fairly nice. You weren't a douche. You refused to be a douche, even to people who were like. I feel like there's a conversation at one point where you were even just like, I just don't want to. I'm like, you don't even like. You were nice. You were like PC level nice at the very least. Sometimes even when you didn't want to be. I swear I recall some sort of conversation at the very least that at one point or another you were just really nice, and I was just like, oh shit, like are you like, oh yeah, you friends, like what's up, like oh damn, and then you're just like I'm just trying to keep chill.
Asshole, but I think I was definitely a douche.
You could have been, but I don't think you were not a douche.
I don't think
you were not a douche.
I think there's moments, right? Everybody can be a douche sometimes, but I don't think I
was socially inept.
I
mean, I still am.
What are you talking about?
But like there was a.
Listen, you are not social. We just talked. We've been talking for what, 3 hours? Socially inept people do not talk for 3 hours. That just doesn't. I keep fucking with the mic, mother.
Dude, I have a
next episode. I'm gonna have it down.
I ramble. Easy. Boom. You can easily talk for 3 hours.
You ramble. I touch the mic.
Yeah.
It balances out.
It doesn't equate social like not ineptitude.
But
no, dude. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. High school's cringe. All of that is cringe. Just go with that. Yeah.
I look at it like I'm trying to be a better person every day, but by my own standards. You know what I mean?
As you should. I mean,
I think everybody should try to do that.
Oh, and growing pains. That's the whole part of growing.
Yeah! Somebody got it. Oh.
Is that what you... Goal. Someone, please, for the love of God,
I've only been waiting
30...
Oh, man. I've only been waiting 30 episodes. No. Actually, it started... Growing pains...
That's fucking hilarious.
I got the title because growing up, I had a lot of growing pains, like physically, like I would grow. Yeah, and it's painful.
Dude, shit hurts.
And I also fucked up a lot, and my parents would say, man, you're going to have a lot of growing pains going down this path. And I think that just kind of stuck.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's a thing.
I think everybody can relate to, you're a kid. You're going to fuck up. The moral is you just got to learn from it.
Yeah.
Right?
We're still basically kids, let's be honest.
I feel like a kid.
I don't think you really stop fucking up until maybe after you're dead. Like, I
I
don't know
don't
if that really
even know
counts. Yeah.
Because you're like rotting. And so you're
But
kind
is
of
that a
fucking
fuck
something
up?
up.
Like,
Right?
you might be. Like, what if you could be cremated? I don't know.
You
Maybe
could be
get somebody
buried in one of those trees. Have you seen that?
Oh, like those, like the creepy, like
No, it's
haunted
like,
forest.
yeah. No, they put you in a pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're talking about?
They create a haunted forest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You're gonna put a body, like you're gonna put like into a tree, like that's haunted forest. That's a haunted tree, easily done. If you, I guess that's how you get haunted forests, obviously.
Or a protected forest. Spirit's
could
kind of watching over you.
Absolutely be like tomato. It depends on your spin.
You know what the haunted forest is? Have you heard about that forest in?
Don't
I think
go
it's
there.
in
Nope.
Japan.
Back up. Don't do it.
In Japan?
Yeah.
You've heard about that?
Yes.
I don't know where I was going to go with that. That was the end of that.
That one would be like
the
the negative connotation of haunted would absolutely apply to that forest. 100%. Yeah. But it's a spirited forest then. Sorry, you could make a spirited forest. Is that where? I don't know.
Wow.
Got in weird spots. But no, fair. Growing pains. Yeah,
that's where it came from.
That's fair. Honestly, should be most everyone's life, and it
should be.
If it's not, if everything's like calm and chill and stagnant,
what kind of life is that? Yeah.
Be concerned. It's like, what are you doing?
There's that. What is that famous expression where it's like if somebody doesn't hate you, you're not doing something right.
Oh, fuck that. That's from stupid. That's from like full on, like that's cringe high school like commentary there.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
All right.
That's, oh my gosh. That would always be on like some, like, that's me, some girl's bio, and she probably stole somebody's man. And that's always, almost every time. You always see it and you're like,
yeah,
oh,
I regret saying that. See, that's one of the problems with the podcast is now it's out there. Yeah.
It's in your hands. You have the capabilities to censor yourself post.
I can't do that, though.
It's respectable that you don't.
Yeah, I can't do that. If I'm gonna fuck up, I'm gonna own it. I'm not gonna
edit out all the good parts.
Yeah, and then you're just imagine if I did try to censor that. Like, where do you stop then? Like, I'm gonna have to cut out every time I said retarded. I have to cut that out. Every time. Yeah, I can't go down that road. Yeah. Do you think you're gonna, with this self-moderation kind of thing, does that carry over like outside of social media? Like, you watch what you say in person too? More so because of that?
Yeah, so social media, like I just hardly do much there.
Yeah, you don't post a lot.
But when it comes to like, in person, it's been a newer thing. So obviously I haven't had to interact with people much, but like being vaccinated.
COVID.
Right? Being vaccinated, like work, thankfully, I can literally, like my mouth's just, I could skate by without saying really anything, and it works great because you're in a work environment and you're not really supposed to have polarized like anything. But like in social situations, like it's like kind of creeping out, like, other people are getting vaccinated, other people, like, they're not like going out 24/7, like actually like seeing somebody in person. That's happened again in the past like couple months, and just having the like holy shit of like
we have
having
to
a conversation. Yeah. And then, seeing that they've gone down a rabbit hole on the interwebs, and they've gone so deep in there to the point where they're just like censorship fucking story. And I'm just sitting there like, and I'm white. I am a white, like white as fuck person.
I don't see color.
That doesn't help anything.
Oh. Wow. I was trying to virtue signal there. Thank you.
Dude, that is one of the stupidest lines. That's stupid. That helps nothing.
That literally, like,
basically, censorship.
It literally, like, I feel like I lose brain cells when I see people say that.
They're ignoring everything
that,
about
and
a person.
when they have their pronouns in their bios on, like, Instagram and Twitter, it's why, but why?
I think that's not. I don't think it originally stemmed from I tried to originate it and stemmed in one go, and it was all bad.
It's okay. We can make up words. This is a podcast.
It's fine. It's fine. Like, it's, it came from, right, one spot. Originally, it was trying to come, like, from the space of, like, hey, we're going to be kind of, like, allying this a bit, because, like, it's kind of shitty that, or people may have felt shitty when they were the only ones that, like, had to go out there and, like, mostly it was trans, like, actually putting in there, like, they, them. And they were putting that out there because they got confused a lot, and, like, people were, like, confusing them, and, they weren't using the right terms, and they're like, okay, I don't even fucking want to deal with it. I'm not gonna sit here and correct every single person. I'm gonna put it right there. Done. And so then, like, moving forward, people, doing that more often, I think they're trying to to start, it was like a, hey, I got you, like, I'll do the same thing. We're like, normalize it, 100%. But then, like, with a lot of things, it got, like, ham-fisted, like, hard. Like, I did take a couple of college courses, like, haven't really gone anywhere, but obviously, but, like, there's just one, like, I don't even know how they did it, but, like, on their thing for school, they somehow got that in there, and I was like, how the fuck is that in there? Like, how did you even do that? Like, I can't even edit my name. Like, how did you get that there? Like, I can't change this to Angel right now. Like, it just said, like, it says the full thing. But you somehow got that in. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did you contact somebody? Like, I think they even, like, talked about it, like, on, like, one of the discussion boards. I think they had to, like, contact, like, go to, it was a whole
process.
It was a whole fucking process. But they went there. And, like, good on them. Absolutely. But it's, like, there's a certain level where it's, like, I don't know if I even want to, like, it's, like, it comes from, like, a decent spot. It comes from, like, hey, like, we're trying to, like, but then it goes from, like, hey, we're, just solidarity, it's chill, like, my friend doesn't have to feel, like, weird about it, to, more like virtue signal, like, that virtue signal.
That's where I feel like we're
and, like,
at
that
with it.
ham fisting.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, we're just gonna fucking just shove this right down, like,
or posting the
great.
black picture on Instagram. Did you catch that?
Oh my god.
The
Or, like,
black
the white
square.
girls doing the makeup with, like, the fucking fist,
It's
or, like, the
or it's half the face, or it's, like,
that
lines
one's
down the face. It's like, what? How is
It's
this helping
bad.
anything? Like, how is this solving
like,
any problem?
You're right. I have a hard time talking in public. You make this hard for me. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I don't have, like, the people that I talk to, where I have, of course, like, I have friends of different backgrounds, and there's a good chunk of them where I'm just like, I'm about shut. I'm like, I'm not saying shit, because fucking white bitches just be doing stuff like that. Yeah. But that's totally appropriate to say, which is crazy. Yeah. You can also sit there and be like, fucking white people, and that's totally chill.
You know what's really wild? Did you hear about the shooting in Colorado?
No.
Fuck, I hope it was in, I think it was in Colorado. I might, for some reason I'm thinking Colorado. Maybe. It was this guy who looks like a white guy, but he's actually, he's like a first generation Syrian immigrant, I believe.
Okay.
And he's Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And he shot a bunch of people in a grocery store. He shot like 10 people. One of them was a cop who I think rushed in to try to help.
Oh.
And a ton of people were tweeting out, I'm so fucking sick of white people having a bad day and shooting.
I totally saw some shit about that.
Kamala Harris's niece tweeted some shit like that, saying, I'm fucking sick of these white people killing people. Turns out it's not a white guy, and everyone started deleting their tweets. Everybody. But imagine if you said that about a black person or a Mexican. If you said, oh, I'm sick of these black people killing people, or these Mexicans raping people, you would be crucified. You would be crucified so fast, it would be done before you blink.
It'd be over, man.
But there's this weird stigma where you can't be racist against white people.
Which is, if you
understand the definition of racism, it's dumb.
You don't understand what racism is.
But that's the world we live in.
It's the overcorrection shit that people do all the time. And that's when, like, you have people who, do that thing where they're going to post, some odd years down the line, like, I can't believe, oh God, when they make fun of the one that got, like, totally canceled recently, where they pulled up the old tweet from, like, 10 years ago.
The girl I was talking about?
Yeah, the girl you were talking about. Okay. So, like, that. So the girl's doing, like, this shit now, where she's just, like, total, like, 180, big, heavy, like, over the top crap when you could really just like go, oh fuck, I'm never gonna say that again, and like move on with your life and like
Just keep it moving.
Yeah, just not be a shitty person.
Yeah.
But instead, we're gonna be like, oh hey, here's this bad thing, and instead of instead of addressing the bad thing, they're gonna turn around and they're going to try and like they're gonna go over and like above and beyond, like to a point where they're creating other negatives. That makes sense, because you can't see this thing as a major negative and like and try to fix and do it to the point where you create another one. You're not fixing like the problem really. You're kind of putting a really shitty band-aid on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, this is totally gonna do it. And then you have these fucking virtue signaling like people out there. Like it's like, oh, I'm so sorry for like there's literally people who like went out white people are like going out and like apologizing for their ancestors, like doing like a full-on thing.
They apologize for being white too. I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
For
and
being
it's like, you have no control over that.
Yeah, I
like,
didn't know we gotta pick skin colors.
I would not have chosen this one. I was so mad that I can't tan or anything. Like oh god, like yeah, poor white girl can't tan, whatever. Get burned all the time. I have like literally 2nd-degree burns on myself.
That's going to be the thing that gets you canceled, is you sitting there saying, oh, I wish I could tan.
That's probably it, honestly. Yeah, because I get 2nd-degree burns. Like, that's fucking terrible.
That's
I like,
not good.
They're fucking so bad.
That's not good. But that's, I mean, how crazy is that, though?
It's fucking insane.
But people aren't talking about that.
No.
And if you do talk about it, you're racist.
You're canceled.
Or you're canceled.
You're canceled. Yeah. You're racist and you're canceled.
Yeah.
Because God forbid you try to actually want to find a solution.
Yeah.
You want to do something. You don't want to put a Band-Aid on it. You don't want to sit here and go, this will make it better. And all you did was just fuck up more shit, put a fake Band-Aid on it, and did this super disingenuous fucking like apology spiel. Like, you don't even know what the fuck you're apologizing for. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea what you've done. You have no idea, like, what they're actually, like, what anybody is going through on this front. You got nothing. You just know that you are, like, this is negative for X reason, etc. And it would make more sense. Like you could, it'd have to be something, like, way more direct. It'd have to be something that actually made sense. You'd actually have to, like, get, like, on level with it. But people are just doing it in such a fucking disingenuous, shitty way. It just makes everything worse.
How do you think we move away from that and stop this overcorrection? How do you think we move back into the middle?
That takes a lot from people.
I don't think they want to put in the work. That's the biggest thing, is I feel like a lot of people...
It's easier just to flip the switch back and forth.
It's easier to complain, is the problem. It's so much easier to complain and post the black little square on Instagram than it is to actually go do something.
Why bother to actually change anything about yourself or your surroundings when you can just post a little thing, say some words, and call it good?
Yeah.
Why actually do anything?
See, I don't see how we stop that, though.
I don't know.
Because, like, discourse like this, like, where people are actually communicating, like, this isn't, like... It's kind of popular because podcasts are kind of getting big, but it's not...
Oh, dude. Podcasts are big on, like, their own... It depends on who
it
certain
is.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Certain podcasts are,
but they're not as big as, like, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Like, that's the primary
TikTok.
Medium. Or TikTok.
You should really be on TikTok. Oh, Nicholas, we got it. TikTok.
I can't. I can't. I gotta start deleting my social medias. I can't add anymore.
He's so funny.
I'm so done. I don't.
No, I think it does take on some level a little bit of this, just the smaller, like, people actually taking a second to go and, like, not just follow status quo for 2 seconds.
Push back a little bit.
Yeah, but not just, like, push back, like actually have someone think about it. Like, why do you think this is the right choice? Why do you think you should be doing that? Why is that the right answer? And there's so many things, like, I can't say, like, shit for always. So many things I can't say anything for. But
like what?
I literally, in a conversation setting, if I'm the one who sits there, like, and like it's a group, and I go, and like I point out that you could be racist against white people, and if I'm the one who points that out, I can't point that out.
Oh no.
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 Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
No. I can't say shit, and I don't say shit ever. I don't say shit ever because it's not going to go anywhere good.
That is so dumb. Like, I hear you say that, and I'm like, why do people not recognize how dumb that is?
I stay largely quiet, like, and it's like around like a lot of my friends because there's a lot of things that I can't say unless it's like actually like close friend
That
I
you
can say
know
something.
isn't gonna like.
Yeah, I can say
Oh,
something,
shit.
and I have like and just it has to be like one of those situations where like it's a close person. They're actually like, and they actually honestly they have to be a fucking color half the time, which is like shitty. They have to be Mexican. They have to be something so they can go and they can say it. They can say it. They can bring up that conversation. They can probe it. I can sit there and I can think the same thing. I can't say a word. Poor me, I know.
No, but it's a real it's a
so
real
weird.
thing.
Yeah, it's like
like,
such a
and it
crazy
sucks
thing
that you have to
can't
say you have to like
anything.
joke and be like, "Oh, poor me," to like try to diffuse it.
I
Like,
absolutely have to because there's
Yeah.
totally gonna be like comment like things on there like, "Oh my god, white girl gonna complain."
but
Not
that's
people say shit, but it's
it's-
it's tedious. I mean, you fucking watched the first half of this where I couldn't like literally just was like.
I know you were
Everybody's
biting
like,
your tongue a
"Oh,
lot.
just fuck."
You can tell it's like right
We're just
in
gonna sit
there.
there
And
and
you're
teeter
just-
around everything. We're gonna teeter around it because there's things where it's
That
just
scares me. Like, that's, if anything, that's like why I wanted to start the podcast, is because I was worried that's the direction that we're going as a
You're
society.
gonna end up with people like me who are just gonna moderate the fuck out of themselves because they're like, yeah. Well, and that's a dangerous thing.
What?
Like moderating yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking dangerous.
When people moderate themselves, that's how we get where we
That's-
are now. It's because not enough people said,
they're
"No,
not
that's
saying
dumb."
they're honest shit.
Yeah.
They're not being honest.
Yeah. They're
They're
not
not
saying,
going out
"No,
there.
that's not racist.
They're
You're
no.
dumb."
They can't call it out. They
Yeah.
can't say it. They can't call it out.
Imagine if they tried.
It's oh my god. Now it's like crucifixion. Like you're done. Like it's over. Bye. It's not gonna go well. I don't get canceled. I don't even live like I don't do anything.
Speak
but,
your
like,
truth,
fuck.
Angel.
I do nothing. I have a really boring life, but just the prospect of like just.
But it's like these issues affect everybody.
It does.
Regardless of your. That's what I don't get is like, we are so, as a nation right now,
We're in a big mix.
we are so up our own ass
We-
about race and about gender that we don't
We're not
understand.
doing anything else.
like, We have so many real. I don't want to diminish these problems because they are problems, but they're not. They're.
Keynote.
But yeah,
Just
that's
like,
that's
okay,
my
it's
little.
keto.
That's me trying not to get canceled right there. But they're not our
Yeah.
our biggest problems. Like, there are
No.
people, there are women still being sold as property in the world.
Yeah.
There are slaves, legitimate slaves still being bought and sold in the world. There are people still being exterminated for what they believe. There are people
Child
being
sex
killed
trafficking.
for being gay. Yeah, child sex. Like, these are real.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah, when you compare that to, just 99% of our problems right now, and it pales in comparison. And I don't get why people aren't acknowledging that and saying, okay, yeah, the U.S. isn't perfect. Yes, we have problems we need to work on, but god damn, the problems we're focused on are dumb. Like, these are not our biggest problems. We have a lot. Global warming is going to hit
kind of
us.
making some of them worse. Genuinely.
We're making them bigger than they are.
Well, we're
100%.
making like a lot of things worse on a lot of fronts. Instead of fixing it. And it's shitty. Like, because a lot of them, like, don't get me wrong, that sucks ass. That's bad, etc. Negative, 100%. But they're not fixing it. No, nothing is getting fixed on that front.
Mm-mm. I don't think
It
we
is
fixed anything
definitely.
in a while. I don't think we've made any
No.
progress on any of the issues people are complaining about.
We've made noise.
Yeah.
There's absolutely been noise.
But anything tangible?
No, there's just
Yeah.
been noise. It doesn't do anything good. It creates more conflict. It creates like more of a rift and less understanding. And that's what's like been driven. But it also, in part, is kind of like what the goal was. Not from the people actually like going out there and like attempting to like be heard, but conspiracy theory time. Go back a little bit, but click back to government and Facebook and all those other fun things, why things are being pushed so hard, and so on
Oh
and so forth.
shit.
Absolutely, we're gonna jump down that throat. Go it. Yeah, no, 100%. I would put. Oh, that's gonna be, like, that's just gonna be like fucking wiped from the world real quick. Is, yeah, no, absolutely. There's a huge chunk of where everything kind of like blew up to, and where a lot of things have blown up to, and like a lot of the reason why it's gotten like it is like such a heavy focus, especially around, and I'm gonna be that asshole, especially around political times, like when they're like, hey, we're gonna have, you know, a new like a presidential, you know, presidential race, like we're going to like who's gonna be the next president for the next 4 years, whatever. It's time for that. Suddenly people stop talking about like actual shit that you really want your president to be focusing on, and there's usually going to be some sort of incited shit go down, where they even like showed, they even like there was like a lot of these things were taken down later, like that the shit was like started by like, you know, certain, you know, military officials, cops, etc., whatever, like people that were being paid for by the government. Like a lot of those things were like started and made and like blown up for that reason. And then depending on if your Facebook showed that you were liberal or if it showed that you were Republican, like more leaning towards one side or the other, the, you know, fake media bullshit that you got half the time, or the things that like released like more pushed, were going to be video clips of the same thing, but one portion was going to be, you know, showing negative to one side, the other was going to show a negative to the other side, and you had to literally go and like talk to this person, talk to that person, like get and like find the whole video. You never got the whole clip. We got one side or the other. Like if your Facebook showed you were like more leaning in one direction or another, it was really hard for you to find one clip. Even Google will show you one section of it versus the other. Everywhere does. Like you are categorized in all these search engines and a bunch of other things. It is crazy. But that's like one of the big things of like, this is an issue that has been pushed and been maintained and been fed into. Mostly it's for just Discord. Like we just need to have discourse. We need to have like some friction.
Yeah.
And they need to bump up the friction every time it gets closer to, you know, situations where they really need to show we're on this side or we're on that side. And they're up the ante.
Yeah.
Abortion became huge. How many times over?
A lot
of times over. But it's kind of like started like it lost a bit of traction this round. I noticed like it started up again, and I was like, oh shit, like why are these things that I shared like 4 years ago suddenly like, you know, popping right now? I was like, that's so weird. And then it was like but it died off really quick.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have like enough traction anymore because enough things have like happened. So they found something else to like really feed in harder, which is something that needs to be worked on, absolutely. But the way everything went down, the way things have been going down, is not.
Well, we have two really big problems, and the first is that tech is definitely influencing what you see and how you interpret it. And the second is that there are definitely bad actors. There's the Russian Internet Research Agency. There's Chinese state sponsors that are trying to influence the American public and create divides. Like, that's not conspiratorial. That's factual information. And it makes you, I mean, if you really wanted to go into a conspiracy, it would be why. Like, what is all this building? What is all this building towards? Because if we keep going down this path, shit is gonna hit the fan.
I mean, you can just go for like the basic crumble
US.
Like
we could
basic,
be
like the nation just.
What
like,
would happen if we turned into Lebanon? What if
Bye.
what if we became a failed nation state? Like, what if we just collapsed? Like, then it doesn't matter what bathroom you use. Your life is going to be, and people don't seem to get that. Like, just because we are what we are right now and life is how it currently is doesn't mean that it's going to be this way in 6 months or a year or 5 years. Like,
no, so much
shit can hit the fan. I think we saw that with COVID a little bit. Like, people lost their shit, and it was on a lesser extreme, but
like people literally lost their shit.
Yeah,
like literally.
But now imagine like if the power grid went out, like. It was hacked and it was destroyed. And in Texas,
like
it was
100%?
closed. Yeah, I mean 100%. Imagine if there was no power. How long before people start losing? I wasn't here for that.
You weren't here.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, I mean that was not good.
Yeah,
that was not good. Like it's a thing. Like it is terrifying.
But shit like that could happen. Is the crazy part.
And yeah, it does.
Yeah, but imagine on like a larger scale, like the whole country without power for
You're
2
fucked.
weeks.
And that's
People
literally...
are gonna lose it.
People die.
Oh yeah, people would be
That's
killing
when
each other in the streets.
One of
hands
the
down.
biggest things, like, you were literally going to have many people die, and then a lot of people just losing their fucking shit. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So what are they going to do? Like, they have nothing to do. They have no things. They have no way to communicate.
they don't
So
have their phones.
Oh, God.
They'd lose it just for that. No Instagram for 2 weeks. Oh, we're rioting.
No, I mean, there's literally like there's a factor in your brain. There's literally, you're going to release, these chemicals go off and everything when you look at your fucking phone.
Have you seen The Social Dilemma?
It's crazy.
On Netflix?
No.
About all
No.
this? Oh, you
shit.
need to
Okay.
watch that.
Yeah,
that is so good.
Phones make you more depressed. By the way,
They do.
Social media makes you more depressed.
When you really look into
all
it,
those things, they
you
really
realize
don't
how
do anything
fucked
good.
up it is. That it games your psychology. It games you into being addicted to it. Legitimately.
Yeah. You these little like happy endorphins and everything pop
Yeah.
up and you get a message on your phone. Like, oh, it's a message, dude. You get a notification.
It might not even be that. It might be some spam Netflix
Dude,
notification, right?
At this point, like I don't respond like happy feels when I see like my phone goes off. But I also don't talk to anybody.
Listen, I can hook you up with some Russian bots if you need something. They make me feel better every now and then. It might help.
I'm sure you keep getting the ads. Like they must do a really good
so
job.
bad.
Now I get like emails. Yeah, the weather reports like every day. We're gonna have frost advisory.
There was a point.
Popping on that.
There was a legitimate point in time where I was scrolling through my email, just scrolling,
Just go.
because I'd scroll through Instagram and I'd scroll through Facebook, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, I gotta keep scrolling. Let me hit my email." That's how like.
Go back to playing games on your phone. Old days. I downloaded a chess app, man.
I did. Did you see
I've
that
tried it.
the Gambit, the Queen's Gambit on Netflix?
Yeah.
I downloaded chess after that because I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
I bought myself a new chessboard. My
Oh, really?
brother took mine like eons ago. Like borrowed it. Left
Borrowed
it as
it.
like his girl's house or whatever. I never saw it again.
Mm.
We have a weird Christmas thing where I buy myself a present and I, say, "Oh my God, thank you, James." Like from him. It started like back in high school, like when we were supposed to get each other presents, but like I bought myself something and he was supposed to buy himself something because that way we wouldn't have
That's
to tell each other
actually-
one. And he just bought himself nothing. And like
Oh.
his own gift was having to not spend money on my.
Damn. Okay, I feel that a little
So
bit.
that was a
I
little
get it.
salty. I'm gonna be honest.
get
I did
it.
like a salty like level of like, "Oh, thank you for this chessboard." Like crazy. Thanks. I appreciate it. A little salty.
Oh,
that was my uncle's
man.
chessboard. The salt's real. But no, that was a good show, honestly.
It was really good.
Yeah, and I think he did a good
That
job.
was a moment.
Yeah, they touched in on like like mental health and like successful like minds and the whole nine, and like they actually went somewhere.
A lot of people were mad
It's
at how
really-
they portrayed her with her drug addiction and the alcohol abuse. A lot of people were mad.
Yeah.
And it's yeah.
didn't hear
And
any,
it's
like,
like you don't
responses
understand
really.
that this is just a fictional character? Like we're not gonna take that into account? Or
This is a fictional character, and on some like, she's got a lot of fucking trauma. Like they
Yeah.
portrayed a fictional character with lots of trauma.
how are you not gonna include that?
Like, and then the drug abuse. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense to me, man. Like, negative. Don't get me wrong, but
It's
I don't know.
important for the character.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
She's
you're
not gonna be
showing-
scrapbooking after what happened to her. Like that's not
No. They put her on drugs for X amount of time, so on and so forth. There's a thing, like you literally think of like cigarettes, nicotine, etc. You could not smoke for like 5 years, 10 years, etc. Those cravings, random thoughts to have a cigarette, those can still pop up, like things like that. She was a child, loved that feeling, so on and so forth, of this like, the medication, supposed to be like a tranquilizer or whatever. The
He was
medication.
like a horse tranquilizer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know.
some-
But whatever, tranquilizer. Anyway, you flash forward X amount of time. She sees that her brain's gonna go happy thing, and it's the same fucking concept.
Yeah.
Sugar. Think about chocolate bar. So I feel like get obese, man. Chocolate bars, holy shit, really.
Oh man, do not get me.
Oh, those frosted sugar cookies were my shit in high school. Those things, absolutely, sugar it up.
Have you seen the ads going
Oh
around now
god.
that say stop obesity bias? Or stop not obesity. That would be next level. Stop weight bias.
Weight bias.
Weight bias.
What is weight bias? I want to hear like what's how's this being defined right now?
They didn't define it in the ad. It was
No?
just a picture of a very large individual, and then in front of him were the white letters that said stop weight bias.
There was like no indication of like what that was for. There was like
I would assume
nothing surrounding
for weight.
Just,
But I mean,
like just stop weight bias.
I think it's like fat shaming type thing. Would be my understanding.
And then we're gonna go into there's a too far for everything.
Yes.
There's a too far for
Yes.
everything.
There's nuance.
Yeah. It's just like absolutely like shaming bad. No, like don't do that.
Yes.
Bias, like.
But pretending being 500 pounds is healthy is also not good.
Yeah, you
like there's a
shouldn't
back
really,
and
like-
forth. Like
There's a level like you shouldn't sit there and like celebrate, things that are unhealthy. Like you shouldn't celebrate your buddy going out drinking every night. You shouldn't celebrate.
that's the best comparison, right?
Yeah, it's like
It's like
the
an
same
AA person. Like
Like,
you're
yeah.
not gonna say, "Oh no, you need to keep drinking. You're
Like,
fine.
oh,
Nothing's
it's
wrong."
totally fine that you're getting drunk
Yeah.
all the time. It's
That's not a
great.
problem.
It's not an issue. Here, I'll buy you the next round. No one's gonna fucking say that.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there going to McDonald's every night, and no friend is gonna be like, "Oh no, it's totally not an issue that you're having McDonald's." At the same level of like, hey, like, it's totally like opposite spectrum, malnutrition, like starving yourself.
Also
no,
bad.
no friend is gonna sit there like who like is gonna be like, "Hey, it's totally not eating every night." They're not gonna sit there and do that like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll take this good smelling food away so you don't like get tempted." No one's gonna say shit like that.
Yeah. That's another weird thing of
It's
our
just-
time is we're pretending that being obese, and when I say obese, I don't mean overweight or slightly larger, which is fine. I mean
even,
obese.
like a little obese. No, like actually like
Obese.
full on.
And
It's
pretending that,
impacted
like,
your life,
that's-
you can't live.
Yeah, and pretending
normally.
that that's okay. Like it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, people shouldn't bully you for that, and they shouldn't
No,
do
it
anything.
doesn't
But
help
we also
anything.
shouldn't pretend that that's like something you should aspire for. Like that is not good for your body. Especially with COVID, like 80 or 78% of people who were hospitalized were obese.
Well, like diabetes is a real thing.
How many people die in America every day from obese related
She's gonna say,
Conditions.
Oh god, it affects your heart,
Heart
it affects like, your
attacks,
circulatory system.
diabetes?
There's so many issues. There's so many issues. It is really
That's a
unhealthy.
real problem.
And at the same time, yeah, God, fuck, America is polarized because we also have the same issue with the. It's a bit better now because we've pushed actually so hard in the other direction. It has gotten a little bit better now. This is a big cardigan. I keep fucking with it.
I keep fucking with the mic. It's
It's
fine.
fine. It's whatever. Polarized issues. It's not as bad. I fucking remember. Okay, think back to like when you're like a kid, right?
Okay.
Like the popular like look for like celebrities and everything, and like that really like thin. Oh god, when they wore like those pants that were like really low cut and everything too, and like you could just see like just the rips, like this tiny itty bitty like.
Oh, like
There was
2000s.
nothing like early 2000s. Think back to like
Yeah.
2000s, maybe like late like 90s. Or
Like
so.
uncomfortably skinny.
Yeah, like just like they're literally like they would
Yeah.
faint on like the runway.
Yeah.
You don't like go, oh my god, that's amazing, but you also don't go, oh my god, it's amazing to the other end. And I think we're doing that shit, or we're overcorrecting in our media on that front.
I think it's people are trying to
They
be
don't-
too nice.
They're
It's like too, I don't even, nice isn't really the word. It's like you're just too compliant, maybe.
I don't know.
Where it's like we're just accepting of everything. Oh, you can't say that person should maybe be a little healthier, or you can't say, oh, that person, like you.
I kind of want to stick on the overcorrecting because there's literally, it's to the point where smaller people get made fun of more now.
Do they really?
Yeah, like if you're smaller, a lot of times like your friends, especially like when you're female, they're gonna tell you that you need to eat more, like what like, oh dude, you're skinny, are you starving yourself, etc. Like they'll come at you about it hard. And then on the opposite end, no one's saying shit on the opposite end anymore. There's just all this like pump up, oh no, you're great, etc., so on and so forth. Yeah, honestly, I have literally, in my very tiny lifespan, have seen an entire overcorrection from let's praise nearly dying from malnutrition to let's
eating
praise
yourself to death.
Yeah, and actually, quite frankly, that could be malnutrition as well. Because a lot of times you're not eating food that has like proper nutrients in
you're
it.
eating trash.
And you can literally be malnourished and be like severely obese.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never like they're eating steak and vegetables every meal. It's like 5 Big Macs.
And so again, like we all have to redefine, like, again, obese being like 500 something pounds, etc., so on, like heavy and not just like plumper, because don't get me wrong, people could like literally look and be like properly healthy but be technically overweight.
Yeah, I think I'm technically overweight right now. I'm like 200 pounds, which I think for my weight is not.
Probably not.
Or for my height, my weight. For my height, but that's like there's levels, right?
Yeah, there's
levels.
Straight up, like there's different levels.
Yeah,
I think like the low span I could get to and still be healthy is like, I want to say like maybe 120 or something.
I think the big problem.
I'd be fucking terrified.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Like
I'd be a
little scared.
We need to recognize that like you could just be healthy. Just be healthy.
Yeah.
Like
just exist.
You can love your body however you are. You can do whatever you want to do, but acknowledge that like being too skinny is not good for you. Being too big is not. It's just not good for you. Like there's real tangible effects. Just be healthy. Go for a walk every now and then. Go.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
There's some solid effects, man. It was fuck. I don't know.
And stop putting fucking sugar in everything. God damn.
As you drink your sugar juice.
I know.
Dude, this is where I get the most calories. It's definitely gonna be ciders. 100%.
We do have vodka.
I'm not. I can't do that.
Angel, you're already getting canceled, kid. I hate to break it to you. I keep fucking with the mic.
It just looks straight at it.
Talk to me about the vaccine.
The vaccine.
Because you got that. Did you get both? You got the Moderna.
Yeah, I got both.
You have both. Oh, so you're legit.
I got the first one and the second dose. First dose, second dose.
Whoa. Bam. So you're protected.
Yeah, so I said I'm vaccinated. I'm actually vaccinated. I would not walk around with like half a vaccine because like it really you're like you're not like actually you're like halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
You're on the way.
You're in the process.
Like go you started the journey.
Any side effects or anything?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, it just kills me because I have like so it's like where I work. Okay. Anyway.
Oh shit.
There's people I interact with who are constantly like, I swear it's the older population. They're always telling me, dude, I had no side effects whatsoever. I'm over here like, am I a bitch? Like, am I a pussy? Like, fuck. I'm over here like,
what's going on with my immune system?
I'm like, I totally had side effects. Are you kidding me? Like the first one was like, I was just tired.
Yeah.
I had also like stopped drinking energy drinks and like switched to just straight black coffee because I don't like anything in my coffee anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I went from like sugar-free energy drinks to black coffee. And so like I was already like, I was kind of like coming back from that, like, all right, cool, we're getting it. And then like that happened. I was just like, this week is not the week. I went and picked up some energy drink. I was like, I just like, because we all at my work we had all gotten around the same time wherever it is I work at. And so yeah, it was one of those like I got called out like, did you stop drinking those? And I'm like, I have a reason. Like there's an excuse, I swear.
Did you get it because of work?
Yeah. It's it is another it's another thing that they like once it was like available and like they were able to sign us up for it and everything. It was one of those like, hey guys, here's the new policy.
Or was it mandatory? Kind of unspoken. Mandatory.
Yeah, it was mandatory. I don't know like what like level. No one really like goes there on that front. They're like, it's mandatory. Like, you know.
Mm.
There's a lot of places that have done that actually.
That worries
like especially like medical fields that have done that. Like a lot of places in the medical like world where it's like it's become because of like how big and like how gnarly like COVID is, and like it's just again and like if you do happen to interact with people that would be older or like more at risk, so on and so forth, and that's a job you're choosing, I think they're just going to heavily push that because it's one of those things where it's like we have the opportunity to like prevent this. It was released first to people that were in the medical field. Like they were able to get that shit first. Like if you look at the tier system, I think like I don't remember. I know a bunch of doctors got it, and I think like skilled nursing facilities got it, and like offices,
all the frontline
and labs,
workers,
and like frontline work. Yeah, the whole nine. So like it's just like everybody who has like the interactions and like, and then on from there, because they're the ones that are going to spread it around to all the at risk. Anyway, so yeah, that's one of those things. I think it's kind of mandatory in a lot of places. Kind of like the flu shot, but with the flu shot, you could wear a face mask if you didn't get it. And for this, you're already wearing a mask, so I don't think that works. I don't think that's like a thing that you could like use.
Cancels out, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out. But anyway, yeah, first one I was just tired. I was like, whatever. It kind of started my arm hurt like a bitch. I woke up like the night of, like I got in the shot and I had rolled over onto my left side because I like fuck my left arm. I get shots in my left arm because I'm right-handed, like always.
Yeah.
I got the shot in my left arm. Like I rolled over and like the pain like irradiated. Like I woke up because like the pain radiated down to my leg and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh, this is some bullshit. I'm like, I'm not about it. I was like, this is not great. Couldn't get any sleep. It was terrible. Second shot wasn't that bad. I think it was like the second shot. I think my temp spiked like day of, like within like an hour or two. Like it just went up. I'm usually pretty like low on the temp scale anyway, so it was like whatever. But like I did like it tried to like spike a little bit. It's like slight clamminess, like gross, right? Ew, clamminess. It's like temp spiked a little like ugh, and then after that I just had like I think like a recurrent headache for like 3 days.
Okay.
And my arm soreness was like whatever. But it wasn't like that bad. But it was, of course, I'm dramatic. I'm over here like, oh, give me a fucking energy drink. I was like, oh man, I can't do this. Excuse. Give me my sugar-free Rockstar. Like, go for it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Tapped out like, please. I'm like, I'm exhausted.
Not the time to switch to black coffee.
I can't do this. You guys would do what? It's just like look like what? Yeah. No, but it wasn't.
Nothing
it wasn't
crazy.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. And honestly, I think the second one was like better. The second shot. I think it was like more intense, but like short term.
Okay.
Yeah, it got cranked up a notch, but like briefly. Versus the first one, where it was kind of like, oh, this kind of sucks. Ow, fuck my arm. It was like a little more extended.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people they didn't have side effects for the first one, but the second one they did. But I don't know if they got the Pfizer or not.
Pfizer is supposed to have definitely like less side effects, and that one's like now, of course, more accessible to everybody. Rude. Totally wanted that one.
Was the Pfizer?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
But
now they have Johnson & Johnson, so it's whatever.
The Johnson & Johnson ones, though, it's not quite as effective, though, right?
I haven't really heard much about them. I know it's a one and done.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people are like all for it, because they're like, heck yeah, only one shot. Because especially if they have any negative side effects, they don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I think I was talking to the pharmacist I was giving the shot, and he was like breaking down like Pfizer versus like Moderna. I think overall Pfizer's like a little bit more effective than Moderna, like a little bit percent wise. But then if you actually break it down like via age group, younger ones, hey, get Moderna. That one's apparently supposed to be more effective on that route versus the Pfizer is actually more effective for the older gen. So it just depends on kind of where you're at. Weirdly enough, I don't know why that is. But for some reason, Moderna's supposed to be, it's more effective with the younger humans.
Huh, I don't know that.
Yeah, the percent effectiveness actually does change by age range, apparently.
Would you have gotten it if it wasn't required?
Yeah, I think I would have gotten it. I'm always one of those, though, that always, I get my flu shot every year. I sign up, like, first one out there. I'm like, let's go. Like, oh, it's out. And I'll like, oh, no way. Fucking, my mom's a nurse. Like, and I worked, like, she always, always got her shots. She always made sure we got all of our shots. And then when I started working in, mental health, like, in medical field and everything else, it was like, I had to, have all my stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like, first one, let's get it done. I was like, just a fucking weirdo. I was like, just ready there day one, just like, let's get
this
it
girl's
done.
Back again.
I'm like, I'm ready.
Oh,
getting my paper. Like, let me show that I'm fruit. Yeah, I got it. Carried around all proud. Yeah, I got to take care of.
Oh,
First one there. I'm such a weirdo. Nobody else is excited. Everyone's like, oh, this again.
Everyone's like, I have to go get it. Oh shit.
There's always those people who are like faking, like, oh, like I'll get it later. I'll get it later. And after a certain point, they're like, dude, you need to put on a mask if you're not gonna get it. They're like,
Rip.
bruh.
I'm waiting for them to just open everything up and get rid of the mask now.
I think it's gonna take a little bit longer.
In California?
And a lot of places. I mean, as honestly, we're getting like towards that. I feel like because like everybody has access. Well, yeah, basically everybody has access on some level. You can go right now and sign up to get a shot. Like, there's like different ways to do it. Like, you know, go through your doctor, go to like fucking CVS, different places.
They're doing shots now too?
I believe they're doing shots at CVS. Yeah, they're like the website or something. But I think they're doing Johnson & Johnson. They're mostly doing the older folks. But there's a way to get it.
My worry is that they're going to make it like mandatory to travel. That you have to get it if you want to get on the plane.
I believe 100% that's going to be a thing. Are you
I've heard
kidding
that a
me?
lot. I know, but that's...
It sucks. Don't get me wrong. The flu shot's not mandatory to travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also kind of crazy that they're going to, you know, put a shot out there, an emergency vaccine out there that they're going to, you know, turn around
Make
and have
it mandatory. I just feel like that's a problem.
Yeah. I would have absolutely preferred if it was something that had like years of
development.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just a little.
Well, you know, you want to see like how things, you know,
how it plays out.
Body, like over, you know, many years.
Long-term repercussions.
It's really important.
Yeah.
And instead, they're just gonna find that out with us. It's kind of fucking rude. I was like, I really like, you know, sign up to be like the lab rats.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, there was so people like that I talked to like in the medical field who were just pissed. Like, we're the first ones getting the shot. Really, like the first batches. Oh, okay. And what happens if y'all fuck this up?
Yeah, that would not have been pretty if it went sideways.
I was dying. There was like a hospital or something like down south where like a bunch of the nurses were just like, no.
Oh, really?
And there was like, you can't make
We're not getting this.
It was a thing. They're like, you can't make us do that. We don't trust that shit. And there was a bad batch of Moderna.
Was there really?
Yeah.
I know there have been a few doctors that are like, this is kind of...
it depends, yeah. I know there was a bad batch of Moderna that was like, I think we had a couple of them up here or something. Like, they mentioned like it might be on the serial number check blank or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was not one of mine. I did not have
that. That's good.
Yeah, I remember that was a thing. My mom even was like, dude. She's like, hey, you have Moderna, right? Like, sends me like the link and everything. I'm like,
check it out.
I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, I would have had a reaction by now. It was like weeks later, and I was like, this.
We made it through it at this point.
I'm like, they kind of mentioned that like in here that it's supposed to be like within the first 72 hours, like whatever the fuck it was. It was like something happened, but like within like 72 hours, and I'm like, I definitely didn't have that experience. Mm-hmm. I appreciate the concern though.
Yeah, we gotta just. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I said we just open this shit up. Get the ball rolling, baby. Let's go Florida style. Everybody out. Send it.
It's terrifying. We have like loved ones who only have like partially functioning lungs.
Well, see, that's the problem, right? Is there
that's
people...
where it gets like, fuck.
Yeah, but that's definitely a problem. But then again, how long do we wait, right? Because that's always going to be a problem. There's always going to be populations that are vulnerable for it.
No. And there's some part of it where it's kind of like we're restricting shit on like a heavy level.
Yeah, we're definitely hurting a lot, like businesses.
Yeah, we're destroying businesses.
Yeah.
Like, our economy, we are literally like strangling all the small businesses. We are strangling them.
Yeah.
We are putting people into so much more debt. We are fucking shit up. Credit card freezes, like you go call your bank and if your shit's not paid off and like perfectly paid off properly, like not even like $1 over, like half of them aren't going to give you an increase. Some of them even like just shut down people's credit cards in general because they're just like, we saw you as risky and just pull plug. They're getting like tighter and stingier. It's like, it's weird. It's some shit. Like there's full on like some major economic repercussions. There we go. That's a word.
Yeah. See that. So then where do we draw the line, right? Because how many people? Like we're definitely doing damage with the lockdown.
We should have drawn it already.
That's what I feel like.
I mean, we're drawing back. Don't get me wrong. Like we're getting back, which is good. And I guess I'm probably like maybe overly hopeful for the like, hey, if we do that, then it's also like you have to do this thing to be able to get that freedom. It's also like, why are we sacrificing certain freedoms on some level? Don't get me wrong, there's like a certain level where you just don't be a dick, etc. It's hard. There's a hard, like, where's like the middle ground? Because you should never willingly sacrifice freedoms, like especially to your government.
The problem is they don't get brought back most of the times when you give them up to the government. It's not like it.
Oof.
They come back.
Privacy, our privacy rights.
That shit's gone.
Yeah,
that's gone.
9/11 took away our privacy rights.
Yeah, but even more so now. Like they've rolled back so much throughout the pandemic that people don't talk about.
We voted in to take away certain amounts of like certain things for a small period of time because we were terrified because
like
of that
the
situation.
Patriot Act.
That's literally Patriot Act.
Yeah.
Literally, we were terrified. Like and then you brew up the storm, and then nothing ever really comes back after that.
Terrified, and it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, and people didn't adjust. Is the problem?
Media, yo.
And politicians, shitty politicians. I don't think we would be this open right now if Gavin Newsom wasn't being recalled. I think we would still be locked down pretty tight.
I could see it. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I think he's afraid. I think he's trying to win back some favor a little bit.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. It's definitely interesting. You have full spectrums.
There's a lot of shit going on, is the problem. Yeah. There's just so many different fronts you could look at and be like, oh, that's a problem. Okay, that's a problem. Like, what?
But where are the problems, like, ever? Like, we're like, how do you put these in, like, a order of, like, we're going to deal with, like, this one first, and then...
Maybe. Well, we haven't even started chipping at anything.
No, but they've talked about chipping at things. And
there's been a lot of talk.
There's a great amount of talk and like solid lies about chipping on things.
We've made a lot of progress.
No, I wouldn't say progress. We made a lot
progress
of talk.
Talking.
No. The progress is like fucking. No, even that's just fluff. That's more beat around the bush than me here. Like
it's posturing.
Yeah. Yes, we're totally gonna do this. No, they're not gonna do that thing. They're not gonna do the thing.
They might. Have you followed? Are you like into guns? I don't even know how you phrase that question.
Am I into?
Do you like guns? Are you a gun person?
I do actually like guns. I am for like I would like to own one.
Okay.
They're fun to shoot. They serve a great purpose.
How wild would it be if this is what gets you canceled? Is you just being pro-gun?
Oh.
Of all the things. I don't like guns. I don't. Start walking it back.
It's like trying to think about like where do I go with that? Because it's just like I don't need a gun to kill somebody. Like that's not gonna be the issue if like people are gonna go there.
I think everybody should have a gun.
I genuinely think it's a gun. Like the whole reason like we're supposed to have guns, like we have that right. You're supposed to be able to go buy one. The people like are supposed to be able to have the same level of like machinery as the government, because fucking Tea Party shit, okay? When we said fuck you to the British, like straight up, we are supposed to have that same level because the government does some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And when they start overstepping and they get to that point, the people were supposed to be able to do something about it. And there's this crazy thing that the government does where they kind of realize every once in a while that people totally have more power than they do if they actually thought about it for 2 seconds.
Nobody does, though.
No. And so then, like, that's usually when, like, another mass shooting comes out, another push comes out, too, to, like...
That's where I was going with this, was the push to ban...
It's a push, yeah. It's a push to ban things, and don't get me...
Assault rifles.
And why... Conspiracy, let's go there. Why would they care about a few hundred lives when you're looking at billions? Like, why would you care about a few hundred lives dying so they can push an agenda that would prevent people from ever being able to do anything about what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you care? That's nothing to them.
To the government.
Yeah. They don't give a shit. Like, that's nothing. That's minimal as fuck.
Drop in the bucket.
Yeah. And even if, again, like, you know, some level, like, people, again, they just get to that point, they snap, so on and so forth. The way they went about it in the media, they put these people in this, like, crazy, like, they put them in a spotlight, these shooters. A really negative spotlight.
But a spotlight
you don't want to be
still.
like, you don't want to be in, but a spotlight. You gave them that. You gave them like a certain like level that they can like. Yeah, it's like when people sit there and they make suicide this thing because like, oh my god, this person, you're gonna cherish them on like this level. When they build things up in like those ways, in those negative ways, without even realizing what they're doing, they're creating more. They're showing people that like, hey, if you go when you offer yourself, you're gonna be like more accepted, more loved, etc., whatever, than like you have live anyway. You go and you kill these people, etc., like, hey, at the very least, like, you're gonna live on in this way, so on and so forth. Like, you did something with your, like, it's just crazy shit. Like, it goes to crazy things in people's brains. It's fucked. But if you continue doing that, you're gonna have more going on throughout your
It's gonna keep building.
Yeah, and you're gonna keep spiraling it, and you're gonna keep building it, snowballing, and then you can use it to push whatever the fuck you want in regards to that.
As someone who's worked in the mental health sector, in your unprofessional, professional opinion,
very unprofessional.
Do you think that mental health has something to do with these shootings? I'll preface that I do, but nobody likes to talk about that. Nobody likes to say, yeah, that's.
They don't like to mention that.
No, the running thing is that mental health is not the reason why these people do this. That it doesn't play in. It's because guns are bad and we need to get rid of the guns, and that's going to solve the problem.
I always heard it was more like mental health. I heard that it was like mental health was a factor, but like certain regulations need to be put into place to prevent people who aren't mentally there and like in the right spot for it to be able to get one. The problem is like absolutely mental health is a factor. It is absolutely like you go and if someone does like SIB, like they do like do self-harming behavior, that is a mental health thing. Someone harms themselves or someone harms others, that's a mental health thing.
What is
absolutely.
SIB?
Sorry to interrupt. Was it
self-inflicted behavior?
Yeah, I think
okay.
Okay. I remember the three letters more than I even remember what it was. I remember like my brain just goes this. That's fucking awful. I shouldn't have done that on the screen. Holy shit. Anyway, fuck.
Moving on. So in that behavior,
anyway,
don't think about it. In that behavior,
yeah. So behavior, anyway, your harm to self or others.
Yeah.
Can definitely be classified as a mental health issue that needs to be addressed. 100%. And to get to a point where you're willing to shoot somebody else, or willing to even like you want to go hit them or anything, any of those things, any sort of harm, absolutely mental health, something should be addressed. There is probably 1,001 things that happened before that moment that maybe could have shown somebody that something needed to happen. Like maybe could have had an indication to somebody, but you would never really know. Like half the time, you're going to see someone who's going to be so functional. They're going to be functional as shit. They're going to go to work every day. They're going to show up. They're going to be pleasant. They're going to be clean. They're going to get their job done. They're going to pay their bills, whatever. And they're so functional. What the fuck does functional mean? Like it just basically means you can skate by in society standards and you seem like you're doing great.
You can play the part.
Yeah. You can literally go in, you can put your chips in, take it after the day, done, go, and back. Like, just, you can do it. You could be literally 2 seconds from fucking offing yourself the entire time through. You could have literally had a fucking knife to your, like, arm. You could have had a bottle of pills in your hand. You could have had everything, like, that night before after work. And you can show up the next day at work and look like you're good. It's functional. We don't have a high standard. Like, we don't really set a high standard for that in society. If anything, social media has, one, made it more acceptable to actually admit that you are having issues with mental health and actually be more open about it. But it's also made it to where people on a chunk of levels kind of play it off and it's kind of like whatever. And there's a downplay level of like, it does matter. It genuinely matters. You can sit there and be like, oh, my depression, oh, this, oh, that. There's a lot of self-diagnoses going on there. And there's not actual action being taken.
It's almost like it's cool to have depression. Like, because then you get to just post about it.
People did, like, yeah.
Yeah.
People were definitely, there was a point where that was, like, a bigger thing. I think at this point, there's, like, kind of a swing going towards, like, hey, go to the therapist, go to these, they take care of these things, etc. It's just not, like, big enough.
It's growing, though. I think therapy is definitely more mainstream.
People being able to admit that they actually have, like, those issues in a public area is growing. it's so small. Like I've literally I've seen it with my own eyes. Like just like someone actually like like they were like super sketched. Like me at the beginning of this talk like earlier, just like I
Back
can't
in the beginning.
go back to the beginning. I can't fucking imagine like oh fuck can't say shit like oh I'm gonna go like I sometimes get kind of worked. Oh, I have full on like panic attacks. Like someone's like full like oh I have like and they finally they're able to say it and like they're saying in a space where like people are like oh yeah no dude like I get it and suddenly like all these people like start trying like no I dealt with this like oh no I tried this medication etc like and then suddenly it's like there's just this huge wave of relief on like that main person who's attempting to say something and then there's like everybody else kind of like just melting like shit but it's not just oh I have these issues it's hey I think I have this issue and I kind of want to try blank and then other people actually chiming in like support of like no, dude, like I totally get it. Like been here, these things happen. These are like I've tried these medications, etc. Like or I've gone to therapy, like and I've done this, or like hey, it's a therapist you could try out, and like having that like really come together properly, and that like seeing that happen, people actually like being like good with it is like amazing. I know it's not happening like widespread, nearly enough. People are not having those like just it's okay to admit it and like, but admit it and like be swinging towards getting help.
See, that's the thing, right? I feel like people need to stop focusing on trying to ban these guns and start focusing at the reasons why people are doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are all these signs, like there's signs, there's everything else.
Yeah, the kid that did the Colorado thing, if it was in Colorado, which I think it was bullied. His friend said he was like bullied a lot.
It can fuck you up, man.
Yeah. And
it
so
seems stupid, but like getting yelled at every day will literally fuck
you
up mentally.
Yeah.
Like
it's not the gun. The gun's not killing people. It's the person. So why don't we try to help people before they get to the like? That's my problem with them wanting to ban ARs. Is it's first off, it's not going to solve anything, and second, when it doesn't solve anything, they're not going to bring that gun back into circulation. No. They're going to move towards the next gun. And what's going to be...
They keep going down the line until you can't even have a like tiny ass little pistol in your fucking purse. No.
It's a crazy... And the crazy part is more people are killed with handguns than anything. And it's still a low statistic.
It's... Why not, disarm your public instead of focusing on the main issue? Because you can disarm your public instead. The main issue will still be there, and then
but you've got that social credit.
Could be even like, oh yeah, you've done that thing where you overcorrected an issue that you amplified to begin with, and then you are able to then get what you really wanted out of it. This is the government, by the way. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that conspiracy there. Overcorrect the issue, get what you wanted out of it, go on, and there you go. And then you have your public that aren't focusing on the real issue. They're not bothering to work on it. They're not bothering to like, hey, checking on their friends and like. Or like even just like, hey, just be, open and actually work on their shit. They're just gonna go with, fucking guns, man.
Yeah.
Fuck those things. I don't know, and it's absurd because you could pass any of those like tests that was what I was trying to go to like fucking beginning. Shit, like that was where I was going was like, hey, so it could seem super fucking normal. Like that was that point was supposed to get to you can pass like the test and everything to like get the gun and like pass the mental like stability test and all those things. Like go through like if they even actually like go through that, and there's always a chance that like even if you were in the best state of mind that day, you got the gun, etc., and you have that at your house, there's always a chance that later on like that could change, or that you were totally bullshitting things. And I know that like that's one of the things that they're like, oh yeah, like they get it because they take it from their parents and things like that. But at a certain level, it's like, why are you so afraid of them? Why aren't you teaching that your kids about them to begin with? Teaching them like the safety for them, teaching them not be afraid around guns, to understand them. It's like, how do you use them? Do not fucking keep your finger on the trigger as you're like just doing something.
Yeah.
Do not sweep people with your gun. Like don't turn around with a fucking like just things like that. Like why don't you go out and get them to respect that it's a tool like a knife. You don't have them afraid of knives. You have them wary of knives. They're aware that it could totally stab you and everything else. But we don't ban knives.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
Like anything else.
Yeah.
It's just got bad branding.
It has
in a lot of
really
people's
bad
minds.
branding. Because we don't do like hunting and things like that nearly enough. It's not.
And a lot of people really aren't in contact with guns.
No.
Like there's
they
a
don't
significant
experience it.
Yeah, there's a significant population portion of the population that just doesn't. They've never touched a gun.
City
They've
life,
never
man.
shot a gun.
It's the big cities having heavy contribution towards like what the laws are.
Yeah.
Because you go out here, even here we have people who go hunting. Even here we have people who go shooting. So someone shot a cow, which is just so like. And there's other places to shoot.
Oh, the river bar.
Yeah, you can obviously go to not just the river bar.
Can't believe they closed that off.
I can't believe someone shut that. Like, what
I feel like
asshole.
that should be. Oh, I know.
That was just so rude. But anyway, like again, like even here, like we're considered like we're small.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely small. We're not the smallest, but we're smaller, and we still have something in regards to that. We still have some form. Like people do, still go get their tags and go hunting and whatnot. People still have the ability to go like learn how to shoot guns. I thought it was dope shooting a gun when I was a kid. It was great. Are you kidding me? It was a fun time.
It's a lot of fun.
It was great. It was a good time. Do I remember shit? No. So you go take a class? Absolutely. Am I totally about like, just getting one to have one and then to later be like, just have one for my house? Because like
self-defense.
Right? My dog is not going to defend shit, dude. Like she literally will go lick them.
Oh.
It's not going to work. Like
I think
like there's things that like I
everybody
dog,
should have like why would you not want one just in the event that if you ever do need it? You should know how to use it.
If you need yeah.
Just like
it's like you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight. Like
yeah.
You
and
really
the idea
don't.
that there's not bad people out there is just it's
bad people are always going to find a way to get bad things.
Yeah. And banning guns isn't going to keep them out of their hands. It's just not going to let good people have them anymore. Like that's all that shit does. I know. I did.
Just fight. It's mic'd.
Next episode, I'll have it down. I'm still trying to figure out the position.
Well, okay. In your defense, you did like get up and move, and so you moved it with you as you like got up and like.
Yeah, I'm just.
That part was fine, and then like you like started to do like a little more. That was like.
We'll just move back and not touch it.
Just don't touch it.
For some reason now, I just feel the need to like.
You got.
We'll get there.
Yeah, one day.
We'll get there.
Maybe. Give like 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
get used to it.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. We're getting there.
I'm sure. Anyway, TLDR, guns, totally about it. Yes, for
Moral
sure.
of the story: guns are good.
Just
What else did we
use them responsibly?
What else did we say? Don't go to the extremes.
Don't go to extremes.
Talk to people.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah. It's not like everything is yin and yang don't need to be a thing, okay? You can find the gray zones.
There's nuance. Yeah.
Gray zone's probably not the right word.
Gray zone's good. I like that.
Middle, like meet in the middle. There's a middle space.
Yeah. Meet people in the middle.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
Communication's huge.
Communicate.
Huge. Solve a lot of problems that way. And not via Facebook.
Don't be on social media and don't focus on bullshit problems. I think those are like the big themes of this podcast.
Don't hyper focus on bullshit. Yeah, probably.
Stay off social media. I gotta
Stay
do that.
off
I gotta take that.
I feel like you're preaching this. You're
gonna
post this to places.
I'm preaching this so that when I listen back to this, it's gonna kick something inside of me, and I'm gonna delete.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna like heavily avoid ever like actually like. I really don't want to see this. There's a huge part of me that's like I can't see this. I could not tell anybody that I was on. No.
This is nowhere near as wild as some of them have gotten pretty.
This is tame.
This was pretty tame.
It's just like really good, like just long rants. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. It's
like
cool. It's my trademark. It's just ranting. So there we go.
So we hit the mark. All right. Well, we did 4 hours. I think I think we put in some work here today. Angel, thank you so much for coming on. I had a great time talking with you. Do you have anything you want to plug? Normally people will plug socials, but you definitely don't have to do that because we're trying to promote not going to social media. I'm really gonna
not plug my social media. I'd say like.
Any parting words?
Be responsible and don't be a dick.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
Be responsible and don't be a dick.
Those are the big ones.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Angel. Bye, guys.